Nashville, Tennessee for the Titans' first home game of this preseason, taking on the Arizona Cardinals. Titans lost to Seattle in their preseason opener 20-18, while Arizona at home beat Houston 19-16, rallying from a 16-0 deficit. Vince Young of the Titans offense on the field first. Here tonight, Jay Feely is the kicker now in Arizona, replacing Neil Rackers, who's in Houston, and Damian Williams, the rookie out of Southern Cal, to return the kickoff. Williams got a nice block. The flag is down as he's taken to the 27-yard line. So before Vince Young comes out, we'll hear for the first of many times from Pete Morelli, the referee.
In a return, holding, number 52 of the receiving team, 10-yard penalty. First down. Jamie
Winborn, backup linebacker. We run through the Tennessee Titans offense. As you look at Vince Young, you know Kenny Britt is starting tonight. Britt, the second-year player out of Rutgers, had a very good first season. He starts as Justin Gage will be out, one of the starting receivers. So, Jaws, what do you look for early with the Tennessee offense?
Well, you know what Tennessee is going to do, Mike. They're going to run the football. That's the staple of their offense. You got Chris Johnson in the backfield. Let him tote the football.
And Vince will throw on first down for Bo Scaife, his fellow Texas Longhorn. They've done it for a while in a gain of about 4.
Yeah, this is an area that Vince Young has worked very hard on, throwing to his left. He was inconsistent last year. They spent a lot of time, and you'll see his feet. At the top of the drop, he plants that back foot and opens up. Doesn't throw across his body. That arm comes over the top, and you see the accurate throw. Good job by Vince Young. He's getting better.
First carry, Chris Johnson, about 1.5 yards, and the new Arizona Cardinal, Joey Porter, made the tackle. We mentioned one of 6 men in NFL history to gain over 2,000 yards, 2006. And if you add the receiving yards last year, 503, he had the most yards from scrimmage of anyone in one season in the NFL. Jeff Fisher's running back has promised 2,500 yards this year.
Good luck.
Yeah. 34, but a little wrinkle of formation there for Chris Johnson as he carries just shy of the first down. The ability of Vince Young to run and Chris Johnson in the backfield, as we get a measurement here, gives Mike Heimerdinger, the offensive coordinator, so many options of how he dresses up the formations.
Well, no question. And Vince Young, after he hands the ball off, just the threat of Vince carrying out his fake is miserable for defenses. And these are the down and distances that the Tennessee Titans love. 3rd down and 3 to 4. They dominated last year when Vince Young took over.
You know, in prototypical NFL offenses, you know, the ball is handed off, the whole defense really pursues to the running back. Vince Young balances out the defense. They cannot pursue, or they get in trouble when he goes with the keeper or the play action.
That's a good series for the Arizona Cardinal defense. Billy Davis, their defensive coordinator, told us last night, let's get a 3-and-out or else. And that's a good start for the Cardinals. That's just what they wanted.
Both teams looking at rookie kick returners. Andre Roberts taken in the 3rd round out of the Citadel has opened eyes in the Arizona camp. Brendan Kern is the punter. They picked him up after Denver waived him last year. There's another kicker in camp, but it should be Kern's job. Good kick with hang time, 55 yards. Here's Roberts in the 24. Ran right into his blocker, Matt Ware, and a short gain to the 32. Pete Intersagan on the tackle for Tennessee. We'll look at the offense around Matt Leinart, starting quarterback here for Arizona. Guys, I don't want to say Matt Leinart's in need of a good performance to win the job, but there's not oozing confidence coming out of the Cardinals camp about Leinart and what he's done so far in the preseason?
Well, Mike, I think they need to find an identity. They were a pass-happy team with Kurt Warner. What are they going to be with Matt Leinart? A passing team, a pass-happy team, or a grinded-out running team? We're going to find out in the next couple of weeks.
Tim Hightower is the back and for the 32. His throw is complete. He's shy of the 40 to Steve Preston. It'll be second down.
All that talk about the Titans not blitzing, playing a little four-man rush, playing zone coverage, not to start this game. You see Vincent Fuller come off the bottom of the screen right here. You'll see Fuller come off the right side. Leinart sees it, gets to the quick game and throws the ball on time to the outside. Nice work by Matt Leinart.
Leinart has Steve Preston, doesn't have Larry Fitzgerald. The top receiver was injured in the preseason opener. Over to go for Hightower. There's that no-name Tennessee defense led by middle linebacker Stephen Tulloch makes the tackle. We say no names. The names you know over the last couple of years are gone. 2 years ago, Hainsworth leaving with the big free agency deal to Washington. This past year, Javon Curse not back. Nowhere right now in the NFL. Kyle Vanden Bosch in Detroit. Keith Bullock with the Giants. So Chuck Cecil got a lot of guys you don't know. But they still have confidence this group could be as good as the Pats. Third and 3, and Leinart has time as Preston, but he looks shy of the first down. See if they measure it. As Fuller, who blitzed on first down, made the tackle there.
Mike, the Cardinals came out in their four-wide set. Last season, they ran that four-wide set 273 times and threw out of it that many times. So they love to throw the football with four wide receivers on the field. We'll see how it's going to play out this year. You had Kurt Warner, who could process information quick, read coverage, just tremendously. So we'll see if they can stick with that very aggressive four-wide package this year.
Foot short. Officially punted. See if Ken Wisenhunt will do the same without his starting wide receiver, Larry Fitzgerald, as good as it gets in the NFL. See, last year, second straight year, he was top the league list for touchdowns with 13 touchdowns by a receiver. Well, Ben Graham, who's been at it for quite some time now in his 6th year after an Australian rules football career, will kick to Damian Williams, the other third-round rookie. So the Cardinals looking at their third-round rookie to be a return man, same true with Tennessee. Dropped it, so you get an end-over-end kick. 46 yards, and here comes Williams returning it to the 23-yard line. And brought down by Jason Wright, a backup running back. See Chris Johnson is the 2,006 yards on the field when you come back to Nashville.
This ESPN NFL preseason special is brought to you by Papa John's, official pizza of your NFL game day, and Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Back here in Music City, USA. Titans fans saw their team close 8-2 to finish 500 last year. Vince Young and Chris Johnson were the stars of that show. Number 23, here goes Johnson. No gain there as he's stopped by Clark Hagan.
Well, when you watch Chris Johnson, you might see things you've never seen before. I'm talking about turbochargers, Jaws. You have the angle on him, he still gets by you. 50 catches last year and a lot of yardage after the catch. Unbelievable open field ability, and he loves running the ball out of a one-back set, a two-back set. They're going to use him more in the passing game. If you're a football fan, tune into this guy this year. He's awesome.
The fake to him becomes effective because they have to pay so much attention. That time, Vince Young was pressured by Calais Campbell and Darnell Dockett, the big guys up front for the Cardinals. Boy mentioned earlier, more yards from scrimmage than anyone in 1 year, and 50 catches and 503 receiving yards, Josh, part of the total for Johnson.
And I believe we'll see more of Chris Johnson used as a wide receiver. I remember a year ago, we were out at practice. We saw him lining up as a wide receiver, running the passing tree. Very effective. You get him the ball in space as a wide receiver, wow, as John said.
Damian Williams, the rookie wide receiver, one of the 4 in on 3rd and 10. Cardinals bring 5, and Young throws to Nate Washington. Stopped the 29-yard line, the former Steelers. So that's back-to-back 3-and-outs for an Arizona defense.
You know, you get a lot of these zone blitzes, and if you choose to throw the ball underneath, you got to give Nate Washington a ball he can run with. Vince sees the blitz. He throws the ball on time. You'd like to see that ball delivered in front of the number so Nate Washington has a chance to rally after the catch.
Yeah, maybe Vince saw Joey Porter, number 55, also coming from that backside and didn't want to leave his receiver out there to dry.
Kern will kick it away again. High and short. Andre Robertson's fair catch. I got it. 35, 36 yards. Officially no return. The Cardinals will take over from the 35-yard line after this timeout. Jeff Fisher's out at the 32-yard line, right at the spot where the punt happened. We have an injured Tennessee Titan who's been down for a couple of minutes. They immediately held his helmet. Gotten a great look at the number. We just want to make sure that we have the number right before we say who it is. Check the right side of the screen. See a player running in there and the contact and knocked down immediately. It looked like Pete Intersagan, who's a cornerback on the Titans. He went down right away. So Fisher and the Titans medical staff out there. Ken Wisenhunt, the Arizona coach, also came out for a look. So as they continue to look at Intersagan on the field, we'll step out again for a minute. We end week 2 of the preseason tonight. Start week 3 with a great matchup as Peyton Manning and the Colts go to Lambeau Field to see one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the league now, Aaron Rodgers of Green Bay. Colts Packers see it Thursday night from Lambeau, 8 Eastern, 7 cheese time. Well, the good news is play is whistled back in as Intersagan from Wheaton College got up and was helped off the field, walking gingerly but under his own power. Great sign to see. Leinart first down pass is incomplete. It was behind the intended receiver, Stephen Williams.
See Larry Fitzgerald on the sideline. He's inactive. You'll see this play from last week. Steve Preston comes in motion. He's running a clear route to take the safety out, but the safety does not clear out. Leinart throws the ball over the middle to Larry Fitzgerald with Eugene Wilson, the safety, closing and makes a hit on that thigh or knee of Larry Fitzgerald, and he is inactive for tonight's game.
Sprained a knee ligament, you see, and he will be out likely for the rest of the regular season as we have a whistle.
Start. Number 75, offense. 5-yard penalty still. Second down.
On Levi Brown, the tackle for the Cardinals. But that is just a small bit of the story here. Matt Leinart's got to make decisions that are quick and not put his receivers in that position.
Absolutely, Mike. That was an either-or read. With that motion coming in, that route by Breston is supposed to take the safety out of it. The safety did not leave. That means you go over the top of Breston. Would have been a touchdown.
And just to be clear, Fitzgerald will be out likely the rest of the preseason. They hope to have him back when the regular season begins. All signs looking positive to that end. As Hightower loses a couple of yards as the defense steps up for Tennessee. Jason Babbitt in there with Will Witherspoon.
Talking about all the freedom you have last night to audible. That time is a full blitz. You've got to see that and get out of the play. Here's a one-back set. They're going to hand the ball to Tim Hightower. You see the blitz coming off both corners. That play had no chance from the beginning. You would hope Matt Leinart would see that the next time you get to an audible.
Go! Away! Leinart throws underneath. His tight end, Steven Spott, caught it and got hit hard by Chris Hope. It'll be 4th down.
Well, Johnny read it that time and threw the quick pass, but on 3rd and 15, you're not going to get a first down.
Well, take a look at it, Jaws. It's back-to-back, all-out blitzes. You're going to see all-out pressure, and you're going to see the secondary cover all 4 receivers. They are forcing Matt Leinart to make quick decisions. The Tennessee Titans aggressive game plan here tonight. That's not what they told us.
Yeah, they blitz the fewest of any team in the NFL a year ago. Boy, but they're picking it up tonight.
Ben Graham kicking again. Took Williams to the sideline. The penalty marker down. We had a hold during the kick.
During the punt, holding, number 33 of the receiving team, 10-yard penalty, first down, timeout.
4 possessions, 4 3 and out. Let's go, boys. Come on, we want to see what you got.
They struggled down.
Flying the card so far. Arizona's defense was decent last year, 14th in points allowed. But the playoffs, different story. 90 points in 2 games, 45 each, scored by Green Bay and New Orleans. And things need to tighten up on that side of the ball for the Cards. From the 15, Vince Young's third series is fullback Ahmad Hall. They gain 9 yards, tackled by Kerry Rhodes. Rhodes is one of the new additions as we look at the Cardinals' starting defense. They've added Rhodes at free safety. Joey Porter at right outside linebackers. A couple of familiar names, John, added to this Arizona defense.
No question. Porter comes in here from Miami. 26 sacks the last 2 seasons. Ken Wisenhunt told us last night, guys stand tougher next to him. They just look meaner standing next to Porter, but he's expected to give them a pass rush threat off the corner.
That's cut by Johnson. He'll get the first down. Our first of the game to 28. Tonga foul on the tackle. Well, where, John and Jaws, as you guys broke down what happened in the playoff game, where did things go wrong for Arizona against the Packers and the Saints?
You know, surprisingly, one of the most fundamental parts of the game of football, tackling. They broke down on their tackling. You've got to be able to tackle in this league. Billy Davis said that's one thing they've accentuated in training camp, tackle. Hard to believe that, huh, Coach? Hard to believe.
Billy Davis, defensive coordinator, in his second year at the Cards in that job. Vince going backwards, lofting a beautiful ball to the tight end, Craig Stevens, who is much more of the blocking tight end. It's a first down into Arizona territory at the 43-yard line.
You know, they're excited about Craig Stevens. He takes over for Algie Crumpler. The guy can stretch the defense, and Vince Young does an excellent job off his back foot, standing in the pocket. Good touch, excellent play by Craig Stevens and Vince Young to give the Titans first down.
I love the throw. He threw Stevens open. That's what the quarterback position is all about. Anticipating where that receiver, in this case Craig Stevens, the tight end, is going to be, and let him go get it.
30-yard gain, given to the 42. And Young, this communication with Nate Washington, Dominic Rogers-Cromartie, the corner on that side.
You know, I think when you go back to the Arizona defense and you look at Adrian Wilson, there's not many defenders that play in the middle of your defense that are more intimidating than Adrian Wilson. You have Cromartie playing one corner. You get Kerry Rhodes, an experienced veteran safety. All they need to do is find that right corner, and they have a battle going on, Jaws, between Tremaine McBride and Greg Toller. We got to keep an eye on that because this Arizona secondary could be much improved.
It's a great safety combo with Wilson and Rhodes. Adrian now in his 10th year in the league. Young throws complete. Good throw to Washington. Nate Washington to the 15-yard line. 27 on the game.
This is the improvement we saw in Vince Young last season. It's a quick throw. The window wasn't there in the first opening, and he let him go to the second one.
Just a slant route right here by Washington, and you see the right corner, number 37, the guy we talked about, Tremaine McBride. He's got to read the 3-step and drive it. Nice play by the Titans.
Nice numbers for Young. It's the best drive either way tonight. And there goes Chris Johnson. Calais Campbell brings him down at the 8-yard line. just a little bit. Vince Young doesn't need to be a 4,000-yard passer, right, guys? I mean, if he can give them just a little bit more growth there and open some stuff up for Chris Johnson, now you're talking about a team that can be a threat on offense both ways.
You know, the best a coach can get you with design, with play calling, is one-on-one. Because you have Chris Johnson, your look is going to be 8 in the box. You already start out with one-on-one predominantly on the outside. You just have to take advantage of it.
Johnson running right on a good block from the tight end Scaife and gets into the end zone for the touchdown.
Well, it's a stretch play to your right side. Chris Johnson, the threat of that speed getting to the outside forces the defense to play laterally. And when he puts his outside foot in the ground and slices it up the field, there's nobody better than that.
So often we talk about the run setting up the pass. The passing game set up the running game on that drive for the Tennessee Titans.
A special back, Chris Johnson. He really is. Rob Baronis. It's that try through. Is almost blocked off the corner. CJ2K as he's emblazoned on his body with a tattoo after the 2,000-yard season. Finds the end zone. These were the scenes 3.5 months ago here at LP Field in Nashville. Horrendous flooding. As a matter of fact, the worst natural disaster hit the area in 70 years. 22 were killed. 15,000 homes were destroyed. More than $2 billion of damage in the area. Titans players helped out in the West Nashville neighborhood following the storm. The team also gave $400,000 to the American Red Cross with owner Bud Adams and the National Football League Players Association. Some of the downtown area of the city still feeling effects. The Grand Ole Opry, heavily damaged, still closed. 2,800 hotel rooms there won't open until mid-November. And Jeff Fisher has become such a fixture and leader in this community along with the Titans, helping do their part. The Cumberland River is right behind us here at the stadium. You see the stadium filled, and when you drive by and see the river, we all mentioned driving over how breathtaking it is that the river overflowed its banks so much. LeRon Stevens, Howling, Jason Wright will take the Rob Baronis kickoff. It'll be Stevens Howling, who took one back here 99 yards in the regular season meeting last year. And not knock him down. Really like this guy as a return man to the 35-yard line. And it wasn't like a lot of things Stevens Howling does.
Oh, why wouldn't you? Last year in this stadium, he took a kickoff back for it. Watch this guy perform as a 7th-round draft choice last year as a rookie. Opening kickoff, shed a block, shoot your gun and make a tackle. Then he takes the kickoff back 99 yards for a touchdown. Stevens Howling did a lot in this football game. He covers punts. He downs it at the 1-yard line. Ken Wisenhunt has a lot of hybrid kind of guys that help him on offense and on special teams.
7th-round pick out of Pittsburgh. Nowhere to go for Tim Hightower. That's Stephen Tulloch and Chris Hope coming in on the tackle. This is a who in the world are these guys defense if you don't follow the Titans, not the NFL, but the Titans closely. You don't know who these guys are, but I like the makeup and the character of this defense.
Well, the head coach was a defensive player in the league himself. And I think we got to pay close notice to these Tennessee Titans, particularly in that front 7. They do have some athletic players, and Tulloch is one of them.
They play attack-style defense. They attack the football.
Arizona offense struggling mightily. Leinart never saw that pressure coming. Able to get it to Andre Roberts, who's a yard shy of the first down. Tulloch was coming with that pressure.
Well, Leinart does a real nice job here as Stephen Tulloch blitzes right up the middle. He's pretty much untouched. Leinart feels him coming. That's that sense of urgency that Leinart is beginning to develop when it's coming. Hang in there, look down the gun barrel, and deliver the football. Nice job by Leinart on that play.
Left tackle Levi Brown didn't block anyone on that. Pressure push from the Titans. He was the right tackle last year, moved over to the left now. 3rd and 1 throw. 3rd and 1 shot down the field is incomplete. Stephen Williams, no idea what was going on. Well, it's 4th down. Leinart wants to go for it.
Well, so much for that Pittsburgh Steeler mentality, Jaws.
There you go.
3rd down and 1. You take an aggressive approach. You throw the hard play action pass. You have a young receiver, Steven Williams, coming out of Toledo, number 14, 6'5". You got to give him a chance to make a play on the ball.
Well, he was unaware the ball was even thrown his way. He was running to the inside. The ball was actually thrown out in the box properly where it should be, and Williams never located it.
Ben Graham kicking again. Will they stop it? Looks to be. Beanbag is thrown shy of the goal line. Ben Graham, who was fabulous, tying the NFL single-season record last year for punts downed inside the 20. Good work of Marche Green, a 51-yard kick that puts the Titans back at the 5. Back here in Nashville, Titans with an 85-yard drive the last possession, lead at 7-0. Mike Tirico, John Gruden, Ron Jaworski, Michelle Tafoya down the sideline. Arizona's offense was bad in their first preseason game. Might be even worse so far. 3 drives, 3 3-and-outs. Javon Ringer now takes over as the running back for Chris Johnson. He gets about 6 yards. Second-year man out of Michigan State. And that's an important story for the Titans. You've got Chris Johnson. Who else do you have? Lendale White no longer here.
Well, you know, Chris Johnson never comes off the field. 358 carries, 50 grabs. And Chris Johnson plays 86% of the plays, more than any back in football. And they want Javon Ringer to be that complimentary back. Remember, Lendale White no longer here. They'd like to get somebody to spell Chris Johnson, and this is a guy that's high on Jeff Fisher's list.
Gain of 6 for Ringer. And Young dumps it to him, and Javon gets a first down at the 18-yard line. He's a very productive days at Michigan State. Only Lorenzo Whitejaws has more rushing yards in Spartan history than Ringer.
Yeah, and Vince Young was looking for him as he broke the pocket. That's what you like to see out of Vince Young. You know, he's a guy that's cut his teeth running the football himself. He's learning as an NFL quarterback. You don't want to take those hits. You escape the pocket, you'll see it here. Once he breaks the pocket, he keeps his vision downfield. He steps under Calais Campbell, rushing from the outside. Watch the eyes downfield. He finds Ringer, checks it down, move the chains.
Pressure was picked up by the Tennessee offensive line, and Ringer takes it to the 34-yard line.
That's just an excellent job by this Tennessee Titan offensive line. Take a look at the cross dog blitz, and the Tennessee Titans do an excellent job with their zone blocking scheme. Widen it up. Javon Ringer presses it. Very decisive run. I really like the Tennessee Titans offensive line, Jaws. Mike Munchak does an outstanding job.
John, you are so right. And Michael Ruse, the left tackle, did an outstanding job of sealing to the inside. We don't give those big guys up front enough credit. But boy, Ruse did a great job right there.
First down, Young's got a good pocket, nobody open. Tried to fake the pass, lost the ball, but nice bounce pass to himself to get about 8 yards.
Well, everything Vince Young does is fun to watch, isn't it? But speaking of this Tennessee Titan offensive line, Jaws, you played quarterback a long time. When you change centers, it's tough on quarterbacks. Kevin Mawai here a long time as you see Vince Young rolling to his right. Ball slips out of his hands. But Vince Young has a new battery mate this year. Take a look at number 54, Eugene Amano. He replaces the Pro Bowl center, Kevin Mawai, and they're excited about him.
Amano was the starter left guard the last couple of years, guys. So they slide him over to the center spot with Mawai not being returned to this Titan team. Still looking for a home. Young shot down the field, hit Washington. A lot of hand contact there. Should have been a flag on Tremaine McBride. After Washington cuts inside, you're going to see McBride put his hands on Washington. The official didn't see it. It's incomplete.
I love what Vince Young just did there. It's an 8-man front. It's an obvious strong safety blitz. They're trying to stop this Titan running game, and Vince Young sees it. He audibles. He takes a shot to Nate Washington. I think it's a good no call, but I like the audible.
That's a good no call. The ball was actually thrown a little bit to the inside, to the outside.
Are you guys watching the same?
Yes.
I'm watching here.
Yes.
There's Ringer to the left. Calais Campbell couldn't get him. Porter and Tongafao come over. He grabbed his left arm. He pulled his left arm back.
Okay. Yeah, we are watching the same game.
Okay, that's fine. I agree with the fans. That's good one, you guys.
Well, Tennessee.
But back to Amato for a second. How important is that transition? Because Kevin Mawai-Jaws so much responsibility on this Tennessee offense.
Well, there's no question there. That battle, as John just said, is so important. And, you know, the good thing is Amato's been around so long, he understands those calls. And he's a little bit more stout at the point of attack at this point in his career.
This is 39, and Young's pass is ruled a catch for Washington. And a first down at the 45. No, they say incomplete. From the back, Judge comes in and says, no catch, incomplete.
Well, as you can see, Vince Young is throwing the ball away from Cromartie on every snap. They are working Trumaine McBride. You be the call there, Mike.
I believe Jeff Fisher will throw the challenge flag. Let's see. Maybe he won't. Just kick it away.
Well, I think it's a big point. When you have a shutdown corner like Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie, offenses aren't dumb. They're going to throw the ball the other side. So they have got to find a complement to Cromartie that can shut down and play man coverage on the other side.
I agree with you. It's a dead-even battle right now with McBride and Toller. Always stick with your first thought, John.
Tennessee
Fisher did throw
challenging
the
the ruling
challenge
on the
flag.
field. The receiver had his hands under the ball for a completed catch.
That angle, you look at the tip of the ball. Gives it an even better look.
Oh, different, yeah.
Goes to the ground, maintains possession all the way through the act of making the catch. That bouncing look was the ball hitting his hands cupped together on the turf.
Yeah, the bounce leads you to believe that it hit the ground, but you can see that Washington did have his hands underneath the football, bounced off his palms up into his chest. I believe that would be awarded as a catch.
You see Jeff Fisher talking to Nate Washington. Nate Washington's from Tiffin College. They have a lot of small college guys here. One more look at it.
John, why are they so effective? You know, you mentioned it all week as we've been talking about the Titans. You know, you had the recruit players and scout players. Why are they so effective finding these guys in small colleges?
Well, I'll tell you what, it's a good question. But you got to give Jeff Fisher and his scouting department a lot of credit. They look under every rock in the country to find football players, and they'll develop anybody. They don't look down their nose at you just because you come from a small college. And Cortland Finnegan from Samford University, two of their best defensive linemen from Winston-Salem State, Jacob Ford from Central Arkansas. They do an excellent job working with young players and developing them.
You saw Fisher there clowning with Nate Washington a little bit. The guys always talk about every player thinks they've made every catch. Of course. And I'm sure you've had many times where guys try to talk you into throwing the challenge. Like, Coach, I knew I had it.
Yeah, I had Tim Brown tell me one time, if you don't challenge that, I'm never talking to you again.
And what'd you do?
I challenged it.
Was he right?
No. Tim Brown was never right.
But you saw Nate Washington there hug Jeff Fisher afterwards, and it's part of what has made Jeff Fisher continually relevant now 16 years as a head coach here with this franchise, starting in Houston, moving to Tennessee. The term players coach gets thrown around a lot, but Fisher has great care and passion for his players. And you ask the players, like Cortland Finnegan we talked to this week, we love our coach. And it's a constantly repeated theme.
How about the record? 136 wins, 110 losses. The guy's a winning coach. You only keep your job if you're winning. Jeff Fisher knows how to win. His formula is pretty simple. Be a physical football team.
But it's sincere, you know. Right after the draft, Jeff Fisher calls the parents of the kids that he drafted just to let them know, I'm going to take care of you. And he's just a special guy that really genuinely cares about his players.
After reviewing the play, the receiver had his hands under the ball popped up. It is a catch. Tennessee will not be charged a timeout. It is first down and 10 on the 45-yard line for Tennessee.
And if Tennessee challenges again and gets that right, they'll earn a third one.
Oh, we're off to a good start this year. We're 1 for 1 in our challenges.
We.
Well, we all had it, right?
You know Revis Island?
Yeah.
You know Revis Island?
Yeah, I know him.
When it's a replay, it's Mike Island, you two guys, under the table, end of the corner here in Tennessee. Well, if you're a Titans fan, you feel good about what you've seen from your defense and from Vince Young mixing the ball. And if you're a Cardinals fan, you want to see the second quarter. You want to see if your first team's going to look any good on offense. 7-0 Tennessee. Well, in the annals of football, they'll be together forever. Matt Leinart and Vince Young, born 7 days apart, taken 7 picks apart in the 2005 draft, both with great collegiate records at 2 of the biggest programs in the history of the sport, Southern California and Texas, and both quarterbacking their teams to national championships. Leinart in 03 and 04, Vince Young in 05. Of course, that one coming in the Rose Bowl game where Texas beat the Leinart-led USC game in one of the classic college football games. They played in the regular season here last year. Starters here tonight. Young having the better night. Finds Bo Scaife, part of that Texas championship group. Gain of 25 to the 20.
Here's what we're seeing out of Vince Young tonight. Playing the quarterback position from the pocket. When we think of Vince Young, we usually think of bootlegs, but look at him drop back in a pocket. Focal point down the field. He sees the opening. He sees Bo Scaife coming in there. He anticipates the in-breaking route and delivers the football on time. Adrian Wilson on the coverage. Look at the timing. Scaife turns his shoulders, the ball right on the numbers.
Good night for Young so far. Ringer to the left. Gain of a yard as Calais Campbell.
Take a look at Vince Young, what he's done tonight. Making all kinds of throws. You want to see him throw it more accurately to his left. Obviously, you've seen that a couple times. But he's using all his receivers. He throws off the back foot. He throws the ball to the tight end, Greg Stevens. Here he resets and finds Nate Washington on a slant pattern. He's off to a good start. He's standing in there, call him under duress, throwing the ball straight to Bo Scaife. I like what he's done, Jaws.
Very impressive.
From the 19, Young throws complete again. This will take it to the 11. As Tremaine McBride brings down Kenny Britton. You know, Vince Young has had opportunities as the starter in the past, as you well know. Came in as a rookie, was the offensive rookie of the year, then led the Titans to a playoff season. 2008, injured in the very first game. He was booed and criticized, then remember, came off the field. And then subsequent evening after that, his mom made an urgent call to police that Vince had left with a gun. They were very concerned about him. Lost his starting job. Kerry Collins took over. But then he won back his teammates, won back their confidence as he returned to the team. It was the same Vince Young. Ringer carries for a first down, close to the 8-yard line. He showed as he was running the scout team, which you guys know, that's so important. He showed that he was ready to come back and work, and earning their trust, got the starting job at the end of last year and finished 8-2.
Well, we saw that in the last season where there was a much more comfortable Vince Young within his own frame. He had confidence in himself. We met with him a couple days ago, watched him at practice. You could see a calm quarterback with a better understanding of what it takes to play the position. He knows the job is his.
First and goal. And the Ringer to the right. He's going to gain about a half yard there. So you might be saying there's all this positive about Vince Young. You know, don't bury your head in the sand here. There's a reality of what happened in June. Many of you saw the video. He was involved in a fight at a Dallas strip club. Misdemeanor assault citation, nothing beyond that. Met with Commissioner Roger Goodell and convinced Goodell, after the commissioner and Jeff Fisher got all the facts back to them, that there was no suspension needed. And Vince has come back, says he's got people who are taking care of the smaller things so he can get his focus on football. I'm trying not to be in that same position where he admittedly, self-admittedly, made a mistake this past summer being in the wrong place. Second and goal throw is behind Nate Washington and incomplete.
Well, Kerry Rhodes did an outstanding job of reading the eyes of Vince Young. The quarterback stares down a receiver. A safety with a savvy experience will like Kerry Rhodes will definitely locate the quarterback's eyes, and he will jump the route. You'll see Vince, he sets up, watch Kerry Rhodes jump that route, almost picks it off. Vince has to do a little better job with the eye manipulation, moving those safeties, creating some space for his wide receivers.
14 of this drive that started back at their own 5. Cardinals bring the pressure. Young steps up and is brought down by Adrian Wilson. There's a safety who has seen a quarterback sack or 2 in his life. Stops that run, and it's a field goal chance coming.
That's a nice call by Bill Davis. 3rd down and goal. Obvious passing situation. You're going to see blitz right up the middle, man-to-man coverage. And they congest those scramble lanes for Vince Young to run through. Nice timely blitz by the Arizona Cardinals. Good job getting off.
And I also like, John, they accounted for Vince Young with the safety, Rashad Johnson, who was spying on Vince if he did break the pocket.
Pro Bowler a few seasons ago, Rob Baronis. A solid NFL kicker. Good from 29 yards. 10-0 Tennessee. The first team offense has had a couple of good drives.
This ESPN NFL preseason special is brought to you by Toyota and Bridgestone. For drivers who want to get the most out of their cars, it's Bridgestone or nothing.
Titans leading 10-0. Here over the Arizona Cardinals. Arizona making this trip east, will stay east. They play their next preseason game Saturday in Chicago. They're going to train here for a couple of days against the Titans and then move on up to Chicago Friday. It's been a very poor offensive showing for Arizona thus far. Just trying 3 drives, no first downs. There's Justin Miller, former Pro Bowl kick returner with the Jets in 2006. They can bring the ball back. He's out of bounds at the 36-yard line. That field position will not be for Leinart, but for Derek Anderson, who will get his opportunity with the Cardinals' first-team offense. When you come back. Well, after Matt Leinart and the first-team offense struggled, it's the opportunity for former Cleveland Brown Derek Anderson to take over the Cardinals offense. And he'll do it from the 37. Still first-team offensive line and skill players around him. And Anderson throws complete to Steve Preston just shy of midfield for first down. So Derek Anderson, who was with Cleveland, remember he's originally drafted by Baltimore. Baltimore tried to sneak him through waivers to the practice squad. Cleveland snatched him up. Spent 5 years there, a couple of years as a starter, going to the Pro Bowl in 07, struggled mightily in 08 and 09. And with the regime change in Ohio, Anderson did not return and ends up here. Brought into backup Leinart. Hightower carries for about 4 yards. But as we go back to Derek Anderson's Cleveland days, we're still trying to figure out where has this guy been the last 2 years.
Well, you know what he has? He has a terrific fastball. But what he needs is a changeup, a slider, and a curve. He's got to develop good touch throws. You see a nice one there to Braylon Edwards when they were the tandem in Cleveland. But D.A. can make all the throws, but he has a tough time with those finesse throws over linebackers and between coverage. But I'll tell you, you give him an out route, he will put some smoke on.
I'll tell you, if they move down the field here with a good drive, we'll start some Cardinal chatter. Hightower left for a couple of yards. You guys find it bizarre that offense has done nothing. Leinart plays 3 series, and this is what Wisnant said he was going to do, John. He said he was going to take Leinart out so Anderson can play with the first unit so they can get to know him a little bit better.
Well, it is a little bit of surprise, but you also think about the mindset of the Arizona Cardinals. They're going to be staying in Nashville for a week. I don't think they're really all that fired up right now, Jaws. But you want to see a lot more out of this offense. No question about it.
Now, the first-team offense just didn't show up.
Most of them still out there on the field with Anderson, 3rd and 3. Pressure picked up, shot for Stephen Williams to the 5-yard line. Jason McCourty makes the tackle on the rookie free agent out of Toledo.
Well, that's a 5th straight blitz by defensive coordinator Chuck Cecil. And it's man-to-man. They want to find out about McCourty down here at the bottom of your screen. One-on-one against the big receiver, Stephen Williams. Williams beat him off the line of scrimmage. A nice throw by Derek Anderson.
Chris Hope from the safety position just didn't get over in time, but an excellent release by Stephen Williams to get open.
37 yards in that play, Ron. To the 6. Beanie Wells the back. Anderson, that shot for Preston. Just a hair too tall.
No, you got to hit that throw. It was a perfect play call by Ken Wisenhunt. You know, dive fake inside. You got Preston coming in. You just got to put it on his numbers, Derek, and you got yourself a touchdown. You got to make those easy plays.
No question. Reverse pivot, great pocket, wide open receiver, easy touchdown. That's the one that leaves you shaking your head. That's a slam dunk. And you got to go to the hole and put it in.
Jason Wright, the motion man. Anderson doesn't go to right, instead goes to Wells. Beanie's a yard shy of the end zone. The 3rd down coming up.
One of the big things that the Arizona Cardinals, I believe, are going to miss is Kurt Warner's ability to make plays in the red zone. Nobody's had a better red zone offense the last couple of years than the Arizona Cardinals. But you know how tight it is. It happens quick down here. You have to be decisive and accurate. Clearly, the Arizona Cardinals missed a great opportunity for an easy one there.
In this area, it's all about anticipation. The quarterback has to get the ball out of his hands quickly.
Anderson adjusts the play, throws the slant behind Williams. But incomplete. Alteron Verner, the rookie out of UCLA, with the coverage. 4th down.
Yeah, well, you're going to go with the quick slant here, and you'll see Derek Anderson drop back quickly, looking for that in-breaking route. You got to put this on the belt buckle, on the numbers. You see Williams breaking to the inside. This ball is behind him. It's got to be out in front. Give him a chance to make a catch. An inaccurate throw from Derek Anderson.
Mentioned Jay Feely, who's been with the Jets, the Dolphins, the Giants, the Falcons. Will Racker's been here for 7 years with the Cardinals. Now Jay Feely's back. 10-3. Tennessee on top of Arizona.
You guys are going to the Super Bowl. You go up against this guy right here. This has got to be one of the thrilling times of your life to go up against not only Peyton Manning, you got to go up against Archie Manning, Eli Manning, all these Mannings.
It is a fun visit tomorrow night, 7 Eastern. Make your plans. Champ Camp, John's visit with Drew Brees, Sean Payton. We go back through the New Orleans Saints season. I mentioned it during our game last Monday. Had a chance to watch it on our bus here during our preseason. It's a great watch. You'll get to relive some stuff you never heard about the championship season with the Saints.
Yeah, and you get to know Sean Payton and especially Drew Brees, the guy that really, for the first time, got the credit he deserves. They're neat guys, I tell you.
7 Eastern tomorrow night on ESPN. Feely's kickoff is deep. Damian Williams wants to show you what he's got. And he takes it to the 23-yard line.
When you get in the red zone, you have to make plays. You got to score touchdowns, not kick field goals. You'll see Derek Anderson, nice fake to Wells. He's got Preston wide open, overthrows him. You get another opportunity on 3rd down, the slant route. Put it on the belly. Put it on the belt buckle. The ball is slightly behind him. The play cannot be made by Stephen Williams. If he couldn't get it there, he could have waited for that second window, take him back inside under the cutting safety, Vincent Fuller.
New quarterback in for Tennessee. It's Kerry Collins, the 37-year-old who did not play in the Titans' first game. Completes it to Jared Cook, the tight end. Good first down gain of nearly 9 yards for Collins, who's 12th all-time in the history of the NFL in passing yards, but had the 0-6 start last year. Then at the bye week, as reported then, some suggesting from above with Bud Adams, the owner of the Titans. However, it played out. Collins went to the bench. Young came in, was successful, but Kerry has been very good about his position here as the backup in the final year of a contract in Tennessee. Deep shot. Incomplete for Kenny Britt, the wide receiver.
Mike,
Green covered.
I will tell you this, Kerry Collins can still stroke it. were out of practice the other day, and he can throw the football. And you got a big, tall, rangy wide receiver like Kenny Britt. Throw it out there, let him try to make a play. Probably could have thrown that a little more to the outside, but Kerry Collins can still throw it. You can see that speed and the strength of Kenny Britt right here separating from Green.
Collins, Pro Bowler in 2008. That wasn't a Pro Bowler because nobody else wanted to go. He earned it with his play. Gives to the fullback, Ahmad Hall, who's one of the better blocking fullbacks in the NFL, but he was stopped by Monty Beisel and Greg Toller as the Cardinals defense forces a 3-and-out.
One of the better blocking fullbacks gets a carry and can't get a yard. It's John's guy.
You got to give the fullback a bone every once in a while, especially in these preseason games. I used to do that, and the fullbacks would come up to me and say, I know you're not calling that in the regular season.
Red Kern kicks to Justin Miller. Yards. Miller brings it back 5. Hanamato down there. The deep snapper up make the tackle. Collins to Britt, almost connected. These are not young draft picks for the Titans. Some young guys who will be entertaining the fans at halftime here. Sure, a lot of you watching have sons who are getting their football season started. Pee-wee football, Pop Warner football, what have you. Beanie Wells the carry here. Second drive for Derek Anderson as quarterback. Takes it to the 35. Be guys at Matt Leinart, for those just tuning in, 9 plays, 3 series, not much.
No, it really wasn't. That was a good throw right there to start out. Audible at the line. And we got Matt Leinart. This game was important to him. He's got to command this offense. He's got to take charge. He is the quarterback of the Arizona Cardinals. You don't want to go out there, run 9 plays, not get a first down, and 19 total yards. I think Wisdom should have kept him in longer. Let him leave this game with something to feel good about.
Anderson gets clobbered as he throws complete to Williams, shy of midfield. Jason Jones, Dave Ball had a little defensive line impromptu meeting at the quarterback.
Well, Derek does a nice job standing in the pocket. The Titans can rush the passer, but you see good rhythm right here. His eyes are down the field, and I tell you, just as I said in the pregame, Jason Jones from Eastern Michigan will rock you, and he just got one right there. I like this young guy.
Don't hurt your arm patting yourself on the back.
I wish you were playing quarterback.
I'd get rid of the ball myself. Stand back there.
Anderson takes a shot from just shy midfield again for Williams, underthrown for him. And incomplete. Jones with the pressure again.
Well, Jason Jones missed some time last year. He's had some injuries. Good get off. These aren't 6-inch steps that they take with the Tennessee Titan defensive line. These guys get off the ball, and they are explosive.
They have no choice, or else they don't play for defensive line coach Jim Washburn. As you said during Monday Night Countdown, renowned as one of the best defensive line coaches in the entirety of the league. There's Washburn.
Mike, we spent a half hour, John. I'll tell you, it was the best half hour you ever want to spend. That guy just reeks of football, man.
Yes, he does.
You love it.
Anderson throws. Williams couldn't hang on. Incomplete as the rookie juggled it. What is it that makes him special?
Well, let's start here. He has great passion. He has gotten results. Unbelievable credibility. You think of the millionaires that this guy's made. Hainsworth, Kevin Carter, Odom, go on and on. Van Bosch, Curse. This guy is the kingmaker. He's a great teacher, passionate about football, and he is relentless. If you don't give him all you got, he'll get somebody else. He's one of the best there is.
Raheem Brock, who came over from Indianapolis, top of your screen, added to this defensive line mix in the last few weeks. They get some pressure as well as Anderson throws underneath. Williams hangs on, but Steven couldn't get it and go. The rookie from Toledo stopped shy of the first down.
What the Titans are doing is putting the Cardinals in these long situations, 3rd and long, then bringing the pressure. forcing the quarterback, get rid of the ball quick, make a tackle, bring on 4th down and punt it. But boy, they are bringing the heat tonight. John, you know, in some of these preseason games, you're going with a package. You know, the Titans historically not a high percentage blitz team, but sometimes in the games, hey, we want to work in our blitz package. It looks like tonight, that's what they're doing.
Ben Graham finished last season with 72 consecutive punts without a touchback. 13 games, no touchbacks. His ability to use the sideline and get the ball to die inside the 10-yard line. And able to do it yet again at the 12. What a weapon that is for a defense. So the Titans will take over from there as another Arizona drive comes to a pretty quick end. And this Cardinal offense, I know they don't have Larry Fitzgerald, but they've been struggling.
Well, a lot of it comes back to the quarterback. But let's be honest, their whole offensive line is in change right now. They moved Levi Brown from right tackle to left tackle. Reggie Wells has moved from left guard to right guard. They bring in Alan Faneca to play left guard. They've got a new right tackle, Brandon Keith. It's not going to happen overnight. You'd like to see more progress, but they got a ways to go yet.
Russ Grimm working on that task. Newly minted Hall of Famer. Offensive line coach of the Cardinals. Darrell Washington, their 2nd-round pick with the stop there. There's Russ. We got 2 Hall of Fame players as the offensive line coaches in the game tonight. Russ Grimm over there for Arizona, who gave a great speech, the induction a few weeks ago in Canton. And Mike Munchak on the other side for Tennessee.
Well, just a couple of grizzly old offensive linemen that, like Jim Washburn, have this incredible passion and enthusiasm for the game, and they love to teach.
Second series for Kerry Collins. He gets hit as he throws, and it's incomplete. So what's different for Mike Heimerdinger, the offensive coordinator, because you have Vince Young, and what he does is not what Kerry Collins does. Well, what do you have to do differently as an offensive play caller?
Well, for Mike Heimerdinger, it's like flipping a switch. This is a completely different game plan and play selection list for Kerry Collins than for Vince Young. And to be honest with you, I don't know how they pull it off, Jaws. You've got to have a different mentality with a pure pocket guy like Collins than you do with a wide open style guy like Vince Young.
Yeah, but it was interesting when Young was in there, they were using the drop back game. They weren't using the play action bootlegs, and Vince was very effective.
Yeah, but Mike Heimerdinger told me.
Ball start, number 89, offense, 5-yard penalty still, 3rd down.
Mike Heimerdinger, the offensive coordinator, told me if I call one bootleg with Kerry Collins, I just do it to make him mad. It's a different style. Both guys obviously are unique to the Titans, but this guy, Kerry Collins, is valuable to Jeff Fisher and his football team.
There's so many teams around this league that would love to have the luxury of looking around and who the backup quarterback. Oh, it's Kerry Collins.
16 years in the league, 170 starts. Started a Super Bowl for the Giants. They were defeated by Baltimore. Javon Ringer on the screen, able to elude the tackle of Michael Adams, but then the rest of the Cardinal defense able to get to him. And the Titans will punt here at the 3-minute mark.
I really like the hustle there of big defensive tackle Alan Branch. And it was funny listening to Ken Wisenhunt last night after they drafted that big Dan Williams out of Tennessee in the 1st round. He says Alan Branch and Gabe Watson, they came in great shape, ready to go.
Yeah, it's
got their attention.
Amazing what a threat to your job will do.
With Branch and Watson out of Michigan. They've struggled since early picks were used to get them. Kern with the kick. Justin Miller away to the 40. Got a great block, return 4 yards. Even better tackle by Hall at the 44. Here's Michelle Tafoya.
And I'm joined by Vince Young, who after a couple of 3-and-outs put together 2 very nice drives. What started to click, Vince?
Just had to get in a little rhythm, trying to figure out what they were trying to do to us as coverage and different things like that. And then we got a gas on, and then we started running our offense and getting, very comfortable.
About this time a year ago, you were the backup. Just how far have you come as a quarterback?
Long way. I mean, I know what's going on now, what the defense is trying to do to me, and the good part about it, I got a great, offensive coordinator, got a great Kerry Collins, a lot of guys behind my back. They're helping me learn the offense of becoming a quarterback. So I put it all in them guys' hands as well as myself for putting in a lot of hard work.
All right, hey, we're running out of time, but really nice performance tonight. Best of luck to you.
I appreciate it. Appreciate y'all coming. Nashville, we love you, baby.
Thanks, Michelle. Thank you, Vince. Gerald McGrath makes the tackle of Beanie Wells as we hit the 2-minute warning here in Nashville. 10-3 Titans. That hit by McGrath was good. It doesn't top the one made by Ahmad Hall on special teams as he brought down Justin Miller on the last punt. The Toyota halftime show coming up. The former Titan Albert Haynes will continue his story with the Redskins. We'll have the latest on that. The 4 snaps of Brett Favre broken down. There's only 4 Brett Favre snaps can be coming up. And do you want to see Larry Fitzgerald catch a football upside down? Cardinal fans just want to see him catch a ball, but you're going to see some sports signs on Larry Fitzgerald. Great stuff coming up. Susie Colbert and Chris Carter coming up with the Toyota halftime show. CC such an influence on Larry Fitzgerald during Larry's young days in Minnesota, where he grew up. Derek Anderson, 3rd series at quarterback. That one is short and incomplete for Max Komar. And Cardinal fans are sitting back there saying, gosh, Kurt Warner, can you do a Favre and come back? It has been a struggle so far for the offense in the first preseason game and a half.
Well, when you lose a quarterback like Kurt Warner, he's a Hall of Famer. He'll be inducted in 5 years. Your offense is not going to be the same. I thought they'd be pretty good. They haven't been thus far.
Anderson is 3rd and 14. He got hit again. That pass is incomplete. Pressure from Dave Ball, veteran from UCLA, still around.
Well, at some point, you got to quit talking about Arizona's struggles on offense and talk about the Tennessee Titans defense. They are putting intense pressure on Derek Anderson, and it's a variety of guys. Remember, the Titans are missing 3 of their starters in the D-line. They've been impressive tonight. They've mixed up the blitzes with some zones. I like what Tennessee's done defensively.
They forced Arizona in those 3rd and long passing situations. And man, have they gotten after the quarterback.
Rams pick. Caught by Williams to 14. Won't get to the 20-yard line. Will Davis, special teams coverage there. You talk about Warner and what he did over the last 3 seasons, tied for 4th in the NFL. Remember, Warner was really removed from the starting job to give Leinart the opportunity a couple of seasons ago. And Kurt so outperformed Matt in the preseason. There was a no-brainer move back to Warner, who had great success. They offered Kurt significant money in the neighborhood of $12 million to stay and come back. He decided not to. He and his wife Brenda, very involved in so many things away from football, large family. Kurt's going to do some television games this year. As he starts a broadcasting career, he's already done some arena games. But he's not part of the Cardinals picture at quarterback anymore. Damian Williams will catch the first down with 8:34 to go.
Big drive here for the Titans. Jeff Fisher really likes this young receiving core, and I'm sure he wants to see some action in this 2-minute drill with the veteran Kerry Collins.
Collins climbs up in the pocket, throws incomplete. Jaws, do you think the Tennessee receiving corps is as good as Jeff Fisher's advertising it?
You know, I think they're getting better. Kenny Britt has a chance to be, I think, an outstanding player. You know, he's big, he's strong. Once he learns the game, the little nuances of route running, I think he can be terrific. Nate Washington has the speed. They start throwing the other guys. You know, Lavelle Hawkins can work that inside slot position. He's now a little bit of a veteran-type receiver. But we all know these tight wide receivers, they got to be able to stalk block.
Collins has some space. Incomplete for the man you mentioned, Hawkins. Michael Adams with the coverage there. You mentioned Lavelle Hawkins, Kenny Britt, Nate Washington. People nationally don't go, wow, it's big on my fantasy football list there. But you've got a lot of guys who are improving, and Britt's the guy who I think they hope can really make a step up this year.
Yeah, but Mike, this is a run offense. They don't have a receiver here. They're I think the only team in the league that didn't have a guy catch 60 passes. This is a run-first offense. They would like to open it up, and I think Vince Young's progress will give them the confidence to do that. But I like their skill. They're deep. They've got 6 or 7 good ones.
Top catching receivers, Washington with 47, and Chris Johnson caught 54 last year. Collins is pressured. Britt Only got one paw on it. Monty Beisel brought the pressure, and we'll have another punt. We have a flag over there on the far sideline.
Like Kenny Britt kicked the ball.
Delay of game. Offense after the play. Number 83 kicked the ball excessively out of bounds. 5-yard penalty. Still fourth down.
Kerry Collins did a good job of reading the blitz. He had one-on-one on the outside. He was a little bit hurried, but you got Kenny Britt one-on-one. You got to put that one on his numbers, and it's Britt that kicks the ball out of bounds.
Yeah, not 83.
That's ridiculous. That kind of stuff drives me crazy. You back yourself up. Now you give Arizona the ball in great field position. I don't care what year you're in. That's not a good play.
Britt's in his second year and did arrive out of shape and admitted as he left for the offseason, came back for OTAs not ready. Quite interesting. Miller lets it bounce. Now picks it up at the 20. He's down at the 24-yard line. Questions about the consistency, the focus. Will Kenny Britt bring it in his second year after a 701-yard rookie season? And he caught the game-winning touchdown from Vince Young in that Titans win over the Cardinals here last year.
Stand next to this guy in the practice field. He is a monster. He is the all-time leading receiver in the Big East. That conference includes Larry Fitzgerald. I think he's the youngest guy in the history of football to catch 40 balls. So he has a tremendous future, and the Titans know it. They want to keep a close eye on his development.
56 seconds, full complement of timeouts, and a second opportunity here inside of 2 minutes for Derek Anderson. Max Homar makes the catch shy of the 30. Max is a rookie out of Idaho who had the game-winning touchdown catch last week in the preseason. Jason Jones had the pressure.
Well, there is pressure. That's been the buzzword of the day by both Matt Wagner and Derek Anderson under a fierce pass.
Anderson's pass is held onto, and a timeout is taken as Andrea Jones made the catch. His defensive line has been lighting them up in the first half.
This defensive line is going to be for real. They're young. They're no names, but they're making names for themselves, especially Jason Jones. Disengaging from the defensive tackle, getting a hit on a quarterback, and it takes a toll. But they get good middle push. They use a lot of different kinds of stunts, as you can see on the left side right there. They've gotten home 4 or 5 times with big hits on the quarterback. And I know that guy, Jim Washburn, he's still going to be mad about something.
Yeah, and then you know what you see, it was evident there, a lot of 4-man rushes were getting home. You could only bring 4, and Jim Washburn loves to turn those 4 guys loose and leave 7 in coverage. It's hard to beat that kind of defense.
2 timeouts left for the Cardinals, 29 seconds remaining. Still their first-team offensive line in there. Jason Wright catches out of the backfield. Jason McCourty, Vincent Fuller with the stop and a timeout taken by Arizona. One more point on Washburn. I found this interesting. What motivates people these days? Well, in this era, 2010, money motivates a lot of players. And in their defensive line meeting room, on the board is written $440 million. That is the sum total, according to Washburn's accounting, of the contract signed by the guys who were there and then left to go somewhere else in free agent deals. So you were given all those colleges before, all the Eastern Michigans and all these other schools of the world. Well, those under-school guys, underpaid guys right now, if you can step up, he says, here, you can add to the $440 million. It's like the Jerry Lewis telethon.
Washburn, he loves coaching those small college guys. You're just from Dayton. Right. You're just from Youngstown State. Go get after the quarterback. He stays after those small college guys. I know he loves it.
It's a good thing you stopped with our alma maters there. That's what's going after you. Anderson from the 38. Sideline inbounds. Caught by Derek Mogi. He's out of San Diego State. The kid who did his high school time right near the Cardinals' home in Scottsdale.
You called it, Jaws. This guy can hum it. B.A. did a nice job there, scrambling out of the pocket to his right. Did an excellent throw.
After the Moji catch, Jeff Fisher takes a timeout. And maybe before the timeout, we have an official review to check if Moji was inbounds.
I can't imagine having a 2-minute drill without a clock stoppage to see a replay. Can you, Mike?
It does seem to happen. But this is one of the most important plays. These are the ones you want to get right, John. Will look pretty good for Moji.
Doesn't look close, does it? Look good to me. Yep, clean. Puts it in the, no.
That's good. No, that's good. That's fine.
No. He bobbled that ball up there, Mike. Let's look at that again. Our guys, they're the best in the truck. He didn't catch that clean. Want to argue again, Mike?
I'm enjoying my island here. Old Replay Island.
You are. First year, Moogie's first year out of San Diego State. I say give him the catch.
He's out of football all of last year. He's being cut by the Falcons. So as Pete Morelli looks at that, you know, we were kind of joking about how Washburn uses that as motivation on his team. All these small schools, and tell the defensive lineman, doesn't matter where you're from, we can make you the big names here, and you can add to the tote board, add to the total, and become a free agent. But it's also a mentality. I mean, less than 50% of the starters here on this Titans team, the projected stars this year, are guys from BCS schools. So it's not just the defensive stars up front. There's several guys on this team who've come from small schools.
Jim Washburn was an ex-college coach. Trust me, he'll get on his motorcycle and drive from coast to coast. And if he sees anybody that looks like a big explosive pass rusher, he'll pull over and work him out. He loves what he does, and he's not afraid to pull the trigger if he sees somebody he likes.
And I think when you go to these smaller schools, these guys don't get the high acclaim at guys, the major colleges, and they come to training camp highly motivated to prove people wrong. I can personalize it. You know, when I come out of Youngstown State, John, as you just mentioned, I'm a Division II guy. You go to the Senior Bowl, so you got Burt Jones, Gary Huff, Tony Adams, all these great, you know, Division I quarterbacks. Man, I was motivated. I want to prove a lot of people wrong. I had a chip on my shoulder. I think that's how this defensive line of the Titans plays. After
reviewing the play, the receiver did not maintain complete control of the pass. Therefore, the pass was incomplete. It'll be 3rd and 10 on the 48-yard line.
Jaws, I congratulate you.
Thank you.
But I would point out it's the preseason. These don't count.
All right. I knew that was coming. You notice Lockjaw over here didn't say a word.
He's allergic to replay. I don't know if you've noticed that over the years.
I used to stand down there sometimes and say, please just give him the catch. I want to play some football tonight.
Okay, Wisnun's trying to get them to go back over to the left hash here with 15 seconds left.
Now, there's situations that you want to practice, and this is one of them. You don't want to give up anything that could give the Arizona Cardinals a chance for a field goal. So whether you call it a prevent defense, whatever you want to call it, Jeff Fisher wants to see his team improve in all situations. And the last thing that the Titans want to do this year is give up a big play under his regime. They gave up 63 explosive plays last year of over 20 yards. This is a situation they want to lock them down.
Four-man rush. Anderson to right. It's out of bounds. 3 yards shy of the first down. Markham 4 yards shy with 9 seconds remaining.
You know, John, you were talking about those explosive plays as Chuck Cecil, the defensive coordinator for the Titans, saying you can't give up those big plays. The year before, the 08 season, when they have the great year and go to the playoffs, you mentioned 63 and 09, only 39 when they go to a playoff team. The big discrepancy in big plays, you start giving up big plays to lose football games.
That guy was a heck of a safety himself.
My goodness.
He would plaster people.
Following the footsteps here is defensive coordinator, a couple of guys who got head coaching jobs after having the D.C. job here in Tennessee. Greg Williams and Jim Schwartz. Jim now the coach of the Lions. Williams went to Buffalo, head coach now is continued great acclaim as defensive coordinator with the Super Bowl champion Saints. This one's out of bounds over at the 9, and the half has expired. Tennessee 10, Arizona 3. We sent to the studio. Toyota halftime show. Here's Susie Culver. Suze?
Mike?
Second preseason game for both the Cardinals and the Titans. Tennessee feeling much better about its first 30 minutes, leading 10-3 over Arizona. Our third of 4 Monday Night Football preseason games. Mike Tirico, John Gruden, Ron Jaworski. John, I thought you made an interesting point. The Titans and Cardinals going to practice against each other in a couple of days. Cardinals aren't going back to Arizona after this game. They probably would like to have a better second half so they can feel better about hanging around here.
No question. They've got so many new players. Just as Ken Wisenhunt told us, they need some games. They got a lot of new faces on both sides of the ball. They've scored 3 points in 2 preseason games in the first half. They can't be pleased.
Here Ken Wisenhunt has to say about the quarterback situation in a second. Rob Baronis with the kickoff. Here's Justin Miller. Not the way to make the team. Touchback to the 20. Here's Michelle Tafoya.
Yeah, speaking with Ken Wisenhunt just moments ago, he said, you know, we had opportunities to make plays, and we just didn't make them. And when you're playing against a defense like the Titans, where they're pressuring so much, you got to make throws, and you got to make catches, and we didn't do either of those things. He wanted to see Derek Anderson against Tennessee's starting defense. He didn't know how long they were going to stay in. That's why he pulled Leinart when he did and sent Derek in. I asked him what he's going to work with Leinart on this week here in Tennessee based on what he saw tonight. He said, I've got to look at the tape, see if there were other breakdowns, and then I'll make a decision from there. Right?
Okay, Michelle, thanks. Anderson remains in here to start the second half. And a good run to the left. Old Beanie Wells remains in the game and goes to the 36-yard line. We talked about Wells a bit earlier, but this is a guy who in his second year seems ready to take that next step, Ron.
Well, they're going to need him to take the next step. You know, last year he averaged 4.5 yards per carry, but he needs more carries. You know, Russ Grimm believes in that road grader style of football from the offensive line. You have a Beanie Wells, he just needs touches. He can wear a defense down.
Arizona only ran it for 3 yards in the first half. Wells with 16 on that carry, and Anderson jumping around in the pocket. That'll stop the jumping. Thrown down by Eric Tiari and Raheem Brock for the sack.
You know, speaking of Raheem Brock, he comes in here from the Indianapolis Colts. A lot of people remember him as a third down specialist, but you're going to see another stunt. Raheem Brock, number 96, coming off your right side of the screen. Pass rush, 4-man pass rush. A lot of different coverages behind it, but they are relentless no matter who's out there.
Kareem Brown was the third Titan in the middle of that mix. Loss of 4. Jason Wright, the running back, takes it up the middle and takes it for a first down to the 47 yards. This is one position they've got a good group of players.
Well, that's one way to slow a pass rush down. You know these Tennessee Titans are heating you up all night. Take a look at the 4-man rush. These guys are jets up the field. Slow them down. Hand the ball off on a draw play. Good call by Ken Wisenhunt. Jason Wright takes advantage.
Wright was in Atlanta, 4 years with Cleveland, and his second year as a Cardinal. Very instrumental special teams. Beanie Wells eluded the first tackle. Brock had him around the ankles, but he's still going to come up short of the first down. It's Nick Schomer comes up to make the stop.
See Beanie Wells here trying to get to the outside. Raheem Brock will appear here with good penetration. Schomer almost made some tackle. Now Wells knows he's got to lunge for that first down. Good footwork. Lower the pad level. It's going to be close. I think he's a tad short, John.
I agree. I think I can see that from here.
Mike, you want to chime? Oh, we got that.
You guys take it easy now. Preseason. You like, John, what Wells showed in the second part of last year. Physical runner that will give Arizona maybe some of that dimension you were talking about.
I like that kind of back. He's over 230 pounds. He's worked very hard in the offseason. A lot of people don't realize how hard it is for a rookie from Ohio State to go all the way across country and play in Arizona. He got hurt in camp. He was homesick, just like a lot of young guys. But he's grown up. He is a man's man, and I want to see him take this rock right off the right side here on 4th and 1.
He was homesick?
Very homesick guy, man. Hey, I get homesick.
3 times they've been stopped on 3rd and 1. There's a 4th and 1 try. Working over the right side, keeping the feet alive without hitting the ground. I'll give him a first down. For Wells across the 47-yard line. Well, the Arizona Cardinals, oftentimes you look at the rushing numbers and you see how much a team struggles. This is a consistent 5-year trend of Arizona struggling in the run game.
Well, they haven't really been committed to it either. And you get good at what you practice. And when Kurt Warner's your quarterback, with the arsenal of receivers they've had, they were a dynamic passing team. And I think they're going to get back to their roots here a little bit with this big running back from Ohio State.
Anderson lost it, fell back on it for a loss of a couple of yards. And you guys alluded to it a couple of times. Russ Grimm, Ken Whisenhunt were together in Pittsburgh with the Steelers and that mentality. And Ken was the play caller for one of the Steelers Super Bowl trips. Maybe more of that in their offense this year without Kurt Warner.
Oh, I don't think there's any doubt. The profile is going to change. The staple of this offense is not going to be 3 and 4 wide receivers on the field and chucking it around all over the place. They're going to get back to, I'll call it Steelers West Coast, that offensive line coming up. When you've got a guy like Beanie Wells, you know, he's complimentary back to Tim Hightower. They'll be an effective running team.
Second and 14. Anderson gets it to Wells. Seeking space, a flag down as he's across midfield.
Holding. Number 31, the offense. 10-yard penalty. Remains second down.
It's on Jason Wright. They added Alan Faneca this year, guys, a 9-time Pro Bowler, last with the Jets.
Well, if you're going to run the football, you'd like to have Alan Faneca on your offensive line. The guy is a flat-out beast. I mean, he can get after people in his 13th year in the National Football League. He's still one of the premier run blockers in this league. Now, he was a little bit of a liability in pass protection, but as far as running the football, man, run it behind Faneca.
Faneca also with those Steeler ties, of course, before those Jets days. One of 10 guards in the NFL to go to the Pro Bowl 9 times. Good movement over there with the receivers. Movement up front as well. Play clock's out. I don't think anybody's throwing a flag.
Take your choice. Not me. Just stop playing. It's preseason for the officials, too.
Try to see if a timeout was taken by the Cardinals.
The play clock malfunctioned on the play. There's no foul for delay of game.
Just look at Faneca.
Well, Alan Faneca, 9 Pro Bowls in a row. I didn't see any deterioration in his play, Jaws. This guy was an outstanding run blocker. That's what you're seeing right here. But you have tremendous credibility when you walk Alan Faneca into your offensive line room, and that's what Russ Grimm is counting on. They're counting on him making Levi Brown better at left tackle. Lyle Senline, the center, is going to be better because of his presence. And I know the Cardinals are very excited to have him there.
So no harm, no foul. 2nd and 17, an incomplete pass. So triple coverage there for Jim Dre, the 4th-string tight end.
Well, if you're a quarterback in the Arizona Cardinals right now, you're going to have a tough time. This offense is out of sync and not on schedule. When you're getting in 2nd and 17, 3rd and 17 against this Tennessee Titan defense, those 4 defensive linemen are screwing their toes into the ground, and they are attacking the quarterback. Derek Anderson's not going to have much time to get rid of this football.
Second-team offensive line in there for Arizona on 3rd and 17. Just a little shovel to Beanie Wells, who gets hit hard. Rennie Curran, 53, the 3rd-round pick out of Georgia, over there with Brown to make the stop. There's Curran.
Curran's going to be a good Tennessee Titan. Leading tackler at Georgia the last 2 years. Came out early. They like his explosive sideline-to-sideline play. And he's wearing number 53 for a reason. That was Keith Bullock's old number. This guy's been impressive in training camp.
Second half, Titans are going to get a look at Mark Mariani as a kick returner. Takes in Ben Graham's kick at the 10. And Mariani's out of bounds, shy of the 20-yard line. 5:40 gone by in the 3rd. Titans still lead by 7.
This ESPN NFL preseason special is brought to you by Burger King, who remind you to have it your way, and DirecTV. Watch your favorite team wherever you live, only on DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV to switch today.
32 games played, 32 more to play in the preseason. That guy is trying to do a Howard Cosell imitation, I believe, with the vintage ABC Sports yellow jacket and a little logo there. It really worked for me. Gained a couple of yards as the Titans get the ball for the first time in the half. And here's Michelle Tafoya.
And I'm with Matt Leinart, and you told us in our meeting last night how excited you were to play in this game. 3 series, no first downs. Where were the breakdowns, Matt?
You know, it's tough. You know, they blitz almost every play, and you know, we were close on a couple plays, and obviously you want to move the chains, but you know, we kind of knew, you know, they gave a lot of looks in their first game, and I think this game plan, they were just going to blitz the house every play, and we just got to watch the film, and we'll move on from this game. You know, hopefully we can get a win here in the second half, and just keep going, you know, keep moving forward.
Yeah, that's the next question. When you keep moving forward, what do? You have said you know there are going to be critics out there. What do you tell them after these first 2 preseason performances?
I mean, preseason is preseason. You know, people can write whatever they want or say whatever they want. You know, for me, I'm just focused on trying to get better every day, every practice, every game. And, you know, the last 2 years of preseason, we haven't been very good on offense, and you know, we've had some success in the season. And, I mean, they can, you know, they can say what they want in preseason.
So based on that, you were so confident coming into this. Where's your confidence level right now?
I'm still confident. I mean, there's, you know, again, you know, film. You just got to watch the film and see. You know, we completed some balls and, you know, just got ourselves in some 3rd and longs, 2nd and longs, and you know, they pressured us a lot, and you know, obviously in that type of stuff you game plan, but you just watch the film and keep going. So I'm fine. I mean, I'm fine. So
best of luck. Thanks for stopping.
Thank you.
Okay, Michelle, thank you. Pass was caught for a first down by the Titans at Damian Williams. Like Leinart from USC out to the 36-yard line. Kerry Collins remains the quarterback. Samcon Gatto, who was signed earlier this week by the Titans, now at his 5th NFL team. He's the running back. Gets it for 4 to the 40-yard line.
Yeah, you'll see Matt Leinart here. You know, it's a 5-step drop, skinny post. The ball does come out in perfect time. At the top of his drop, there's the throw. Just a little bit underthrown. Here the defense wins. They're going to bring pressure on a long yardage situation. Matt makes the right read, checks it down, but the Titans make a tackle before the first down can be accomplished. It was an uneven first quarter and a little bit into the second quarter for Matt Leinart. He needs to take command of this offense. 9 plays, 19 yards. It's not all his fault. It is the preseason, but you want to see him step it up. See a little anger in him. Show that leadership that is so important to quarterback position. But I wanted to see him just take command of that offense, and quite honestly, I didn't see it tonight, but I'm also going to count you with it is the preseason.
It is the preseason.
I know
it. He's played 3 series. They're not game plan.
And I think he should have played more. He should have played some more. Don't you want a guy to leave a preseason game and feeling good about the performance?
Collins throws complete. It's Jared Cook. All SEC performer at South Carolina who really flashed in camp this past week, and the Titans want to see if he's made that next step.
And Jared Cook is the tight end that the Titans are going to throw the football to in a lot of different formations. This young man, the last 10 days of training camp, has made all kind of plays in different places. But this guy's got a huge wingspan, and they are jacked up, Jaws, about the size and the speed of Jared Cook.
So you get so excited about a tight end.
South Carolina in his second year. And to the opposite side, to Williams. Damian gets one in front of Marche Green.
But you know, these Tennessee Titans, they use tight ends. They use them a lot. They lost Algie Crumpler last year. This is a team that'll play 2 at a time, 3 at a time. Vital that Jared Cook picks up the slack and becomes a vital contributor to the Tennessee Titans.
So Craig Stevens making a catch earlier. Bo Scaife is the veteran tight end. Now in his 6th year here, he's the starter. Sam Gongato, yard shy of the first down. Steve Baggs makes the tackle. Tennessee offense at last year scored 22 points a game. They were second in their rushing attack in the league. Stats so much because of the performance of Chris Johnson, but don't take away from Mike Heimerdinger's offensive line. A very good offensive front when the first teamers are in. Reverse action. Lavelle Hawkins hurdling players. Diving for the goal line and shy. What a job by Hawkins.
What a spectacular play by Lavelle Hawkins. And you got to like the play call by Mike Heimerdinger. You know, you start getting some backup players in there. They're going to over-pursue on 3rd and short. Try to make a play. Lose contain. Watch this. Over the top. Almost takes it to the end zone. Look at Lavelle Hawkins elevate.
You know, Lavelle Hawkins played at Cal with Deshaun Jackson. You wouldn't be able to tell the difference right there. What a magnificent play by Lavelle Hawkins.
We welcome Marche Green to SportsCenter's top 10 plays for the remainder of the day. Sam Gongato barreling over tacklers and in for the touchdown. Matt Ware trying to stop him but could not. And the veteran Sam Gongato trying to make the most of his opportunity, scores the touchdown.
Well, if you're Bill Davis, the defensive coordinator of the Arizona Cardinals, there's not much you can say. Just a simple handoff off the right side, and Gatto brings it back up inside, and he just runs right over 3 Arizona Cardinals. And that's what Bill Davis told us last night. We have got to find 11 guys that can tackle, and the guys that can't won't be there.
And the Sam Congato's story, went to Liberty University in Virginia. Young man who was in South Carolina after moving from Nigeria, had a 100-yard game as a Green Bay Packer. Got a touchdown pass from Brett Favre in his career. Highlight of that drive, though, from Lavelle Hawkins. Up and over. Titans by 14. Music City, USA. It's a pretty fun city. Great nightlife, country music. Kind of walk down the streets in downtown Nashville. There's a good band somewhere. There's another star waiting to be discovered. Playing many of these joints on a Saturday night, Friday night, any night for that matter. 17-3 for the Titans. Team to finish 8-8 last year in the AFC South. Justin Miller will put a knee down, and the Cardinals offense will take over at the 20-yard line. A fun night for the Titans. Their first home game back here this year. I believe they can put together a good season in 2010. Talking about youth football starting around the country. This is USA Football Month. NFL Titans joining in the celebration. USA Football is the official youth football development partner of the NFL, NFL Players Association, and all the league's 32 teams. Sports fundamentals and values. Talk to millions of kids and adults who compromise America's football community. USAFootball.com to check it out. Some of those youngsters getting the thrill of a lifetime playing here in Nashville at halftime and pregame as well.
Mike, I work a couple of USA football camps, and they do a terrific job with football players and coaches.
Yeah, and the coaches as well. You're right, Ron. Max Hall is in the game at quarterback for Arizona. His pass is incomplete for Ed Gant. Max Hall started his collegiate career not too far from the Cardinals' home and his home. He's from Mesa, Arizona. Went to ASU for a year. Then after a couple of years, went to BYU. And left the Cougars as the all-time winningest quarterback, passing Ty Detmer. So you can put your name past Ty Detmer at BYU quarterback, you're good.
Ty Detmer, one of my former quarterbacks.
Is he?
Well, this guy, Max Hall, he's got a lot of interesting genes, doesn't he, Jaws?
Sure does. Nephew of Danny White, former Dallas Cowboys outstanding quarterback.
All 39 games in his last 3 years at BYU. Hands to Beanie Wells. And gets no gain there.
Boy, the Arizona Cardinals, other than one run tonight, have struggled to get the ball back to the line of scrimmage. And when you look out there, the size of these Arizona Cardinals, you would expect more. You see Bridges, who's a veteran in the league. Deuce Latui's been a starter at right guard, or I don't know for how many years, Jaws, but they have a couple good linemen out there. You'd expect better results.
They are creating no movement of the line of scrimmage.
Latui started all but one game in the last 3 years, playing over there at right guard. And the pass caught by Gant, but the Cardinals remain one of now 12 on third down. Gant, out of North Alabama, was down before the ball came out. So Max Hall and company go 3 and out. Max's first action in the NFL, it was John Skelton, who was their 5th-round draft pick out of Fordham, who came in and really rallied the team last week to their victory.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll see Skelton probably in that 4th quarter, and he did have an excellent game last week, and he can throw the football.
Bad snap, problems, and Graham brought down the 15-yard line. Patrick Tran comes in and will give a short field to the Titans.
Well, you're going to see it off your left side. Here it comes. Just a bad job by Graham of handling the ball.
Hit him right in the hands.
Catch the ball.
We're up to Lambeau to watch Peyton Manning and the Colts on Thursday night, as they will be the visitors for Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. Don't know if you caught any of the preseason performances from Rodgers. He has been spot on in the first 2. Colts-Packers, their 3rd preseason game. Special Thursday edition of Monday Night Football coming up in a few nights here on ESPN. Chris Sims is in as quarterback for the Titans and gives to Sam Gatto going left side for a couple of yards. Second time around here with the Titans for Chris, who was waived by Denver, had a start last year, was with John in Tampa Bay, go back 3rd-round pick in 2003. Chris has never really found rhythm, an opportunity, or success since he had that serious spleen injury back a few seasons ago. Jeff Fisher has him back here, in some regards battling with Rusty Smith, rookie out of Florida Atlantic, for the 3rd job. And Sims completes the pass to Williams. Damian Williams has been very busy tonight. A first down to the 4-yard line.
And Mike, Chris Sims is competing with Rusty Smith. He has got to play well in the preseason. That was a nice crisp throw right there. Had the pressure coming, hung in the pocket, delivered a strike.
And they like him here. I talked to Jeff Fisher the other day. He played at Texas, where Vince Young played. And there's some similarities in these two guys, Vince Young and Chris Sims, in terms of their upbringing. And they like him in their locker room. I know he can play.
First and goal from the 4. Sam Gatto finding the end zone again for a touchdown. There's some pushing and shoving over there on the offensive and defensive line after this touchdown. 2 touchdowns in 3 minutes of Sam Gatto, who was not here a week ago. Remember that amazing month of November he had some 5-6 seasons ago in Green Bay. He was the offensive rookie of the month in the NFC with his performances, and is only here because of the injury to Stephon Johnson.
And Mike, your pal from Syracuse, Ryan Duran, number 77, came around the horn and an excellent kick-out block on Will Davis, and that allowed Sam Congato to get to the end zone.
Don't specifically know Ryan very well, but it is a kinship, special handshake, yes. 24-3, Titans. Well, it's the story of the NFL in the preseason very often. You have just heartbreaking stories like Stephon Johnson, who was injured in the weightlifting accident at USC, made his way on the Titans roster as a free agent, played in their first game and is severely injured his knee and his leg. Surgery out for the season. So they need another running back in. Sam Congato comes in and carries 2 touchdowns here. The Titans are on top 24-3.
2 impressive touchdown runs. Traffic run, Ron.
Yep, running over people. The one thing about this Tennessee offensive line, they move the line of scrimmage backwards. They give your running back an opportunity to get some momentum, and then you can bring tackles.
Got a look at Stephon Johnson on the sideline. Moves quickly, won over many of the Titans players. Alfonso Smith with no return. We have breaking news. Let's check in with Trey Wingo for an update.
All right, Michael, thank you. It has clearly been the summer of the no-hitter, and we've got another one brewing right now. The Rangers lead the Twins 3-0. Rich Harden had a no-hitter through 6 2/3 innings, but after 111 pitches, they took him out of the game because this was his first start coming off the disabled list. If you're wondering, the last time we've had a combined no-hitter, the Astros used 6 pitchers to do it to the Yankees in 2003. This game, you can follow it on ESPN2. Let's go back to Tennessee.
Interesting. I believe the Twins were involved in a 7-inning Kevin Slowey a week ago where he had a no-hitter, but on a pitch count had to come out, and then the no-hitter went away. Keep you updated on that. LeRod Stevens howling with the carry, a gain of 16, and Michelle standing by with Larry Fitzgerald.
That I am, and you sprained your right knee last week in the opener, the preseason opener. When do you expect to be back?
As soon as possible. We got a great training staff here. They're helping me get better every single day, and I'm just pushing my rehab. So we're just taking it day to day right now.
The fact that you travel with the team for these 2 weeks, does that indicate you might be back for your next preseason game?
That's the plan. I really want to get back as soon as I can. But I need to be here to support my guys, and teammates have to know what's important to me. Even though I can't be on the field contributing, I'm out there every day practicing and trying to push everybody to try to improve the team.
As an observer on the sidelines tonight, Larry, what were the struggles for this offense? What was going down?
Well, watching it from the sidelines is a little bit different than me. I'll watch it tomorrow on tape. I'll probably have a better idea what went wrong, because it's hard to watch from the sideline. But I think the receivers, Stephen Williams played well today again, and I think our guys are making some plays.
How concerning is it right now? I mean, you're trying to follow a Hall of Fame quarterback in Kurt Warner with some guys who, at this point, don't seem to be clicking. What's the concern from your point of view?
Well, I think everybody put so much pressure on it because Kurt retired, and you can't replace a Hall of Fame quarterback. It's impossible. But we have guys here that are working hard every day, and that's all you can really ask for. It's not all the quarterback's responsibility. Everybody around him has to do their part too.
So Kurt's gone, Anquan Bolden's gone. You got 2 very good runners in Tim Hightower and Beanie Wells. How do you think that might affect the run-pass ratio of this football team?
Last year, we probably 60-40 pass. I think it might be a little bit more balanced. So we do have 2 terrific running backs, and we got to get the ball in their hands. And, hopefully it opens up play action down the field for the receivers, though.
Larry, always good to talk to you. Thanks.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
I hope it opens some play action for me downfield. Larry Fitzgerald, who right there in the conversation with Andre Johnson, Randy Moss's productivity. You don't want to leave anybody out, but he is at the elite of the wide receivers in the NFL, at least during his time with Kurt Warner.
Well, there's no question he's not going to get as many opportunities. Kurt Warner was the kind of guy who would come in on Monday, have 30, 40 plays that he wanted to put in the game plan. And they were usually passing plays because Kurt was so good at reading coverage in the pre-snap phase. Once the ball is snapped, he knew how to find a receiver that was open.
Holding penalty erases the Stevens howling run. 2nd and 20 for Max Hall, the rookie free agent quarterback out of BYU. And Stevens howling only able to gain a couple of yards. John, here are the numbers on Fitzgerald over the last 5 seasons, as good as there has been in the NFL.
Well, they're great numbers. What you don't understand is how many hits this guy has taken. 97 of those catches were last year. Only 3 of them were beyond 20 yards. This guy works between the numbers as good as any guy alive. And when the ball is in the air, he just takes it away from people. And I'm hoping Matt Leinart can get this running game going, and in a few weeks, Jaws, they get some play-action pass off of it, and we see Larry down the field. But Fitzgerald is truly a great one.
Well, last year in the entire National Football League, only 10% of the passes went 20 yards or more down the field.
Max Hall's hoist is intercepted by Nick Schomer. Flag down, Schomer down at midfield. 7th-round pick a year ago out of North Dakota State. Jeff Fisher wanted to see the free safety Schomer in action tonight.
Well, it's just a double zone, and once again, pressure on the quarterback. Max Hall can't make that throw. That's easy pickings for the Titans.
Safety right over the top.
Number 23 of the intercepting team. Correction, 25. 10-yard penalty. First down. Timeout.
For the end of the quarter. By the way, if you're wondering what Kurt Warner's doing tonight, he tweeted during the second quarter. Anybody know how to splice a movie on a Mac? If you can help, I'd appreciate it. They need your help, Kurt. Oh, Chris Johnson, Vince Young, and the Titans having a good time. 24-3, they lead as we go to the fourth quarter. Mike Tirico, John Gruden, Ron Jaworski, our Monday Night Football team here in Tennessee. You know, 10 plus 28. What a great exacta it was here in Nashville the last 10 games of the season, 8-2. And I've enjoyed, as we prepared for this game this week, listening to you guys explain how their unique skill sets together makes them as dynamic a backfield as you can have for the NFL.
No doubt. I mean, this guy, Chris Johnson, can run the ball from a 2-back set, a 1-back set. He can run the option, and so can Vince Young. And the threat of Vince Young after he hands the ball off, Jaws, is a real problem for defenses.
And Vince's ability to get on the edge, run the football, and to give him the passing option. Wow, what a couple weapons in the backfield.
LeGarrette Blount, the running back from Oregon, is in the game, and Blount carries up the middle for a first down and beyond. Blount running very hard, a gain of nearly 18 yards for the young man out of Oregon who made a lot of news this time last year.
Well, LeGarrette Blount, big and strong, as you saw right there. When he comes through the line, he's going to run between the tackles at 247 pounds. He gets through the hole and moves the pile. Makes people miss. You see the power, the high step, dragging tacklers. LeGarrette Blount gets an opportunity. He's going to pound it between those tackles.
Wendell White was traded. The need for a big back here in Tennessee was there, and Blount signed here, gains a couple of yards to the 40. It's a big season 2008, John, for Oregon.
Well, he played in the spread option. A lot of the carries that he had were lateral carries. He came across the formation because of the shotgun, but he's a big, powerful man, and he's going to learn how to become an I-formation tailback to complement Chris Johnson. 245 pounds, and that might be putting it mildly, Jaws.
Chris Sims' first down pass is caught. It's a first down pickup. 31-yard line. Paul Williams comes up with that catch. Now, we know Blount last year, this time, that first game against Boise State, the punch, suspended for the rest of the year, rescinded the end of that suspension. He played the end of the season. John, we saw him in the Rose Bowl. And then this past week in Titans practice, Blount was involved in an incident with a punch after a play. Eric Bakhtiari, the defensive lineman, was going out with Blount, and LeGarrette threw a punch. Jeff Fisher immediately came to Blount's defense, saying, quote, to the media, was that the first fight you've seen or first punches thrown at training camp? No. Because it's him, you're going to point it out. Blount hurdling would-be tacklers out to the 16-yard line. I think that's a vote of confidence from Fisher to try to dampen what would have been something talked about a lot, was a big confidence boost for Blount.
Well, here you see him get to the outside, and for a power runner, he shows the explosiveness to turn the corner and get those pads going north and south.
Well, the punch incident that he had in college after the Boise State game, that'll never leave him. That's been well documented. But the young man's moving on with his life. He's at a place, I think, where he's got a chance to have success. A team committed to running the football. Jeff Fisher understands LeGarrette Blount. He's done all the research that anyone could possibly do on this young guy. And they like what he can do as a physical presence between the tackles. He's got a long way to go to learn the passing game and become an every down back, but he is making progress.
Stephen Failer, the tight end, was called for holding, erasing that gain by Blount. And Chris Sims with time to throw. The pass is incomplete behind Paul Williams as Chris was knocked down. It was a 10-game suspension when all was said and done for LeGarrette Blount. Last year, he had started his career at East Mississippi Community College. And one last point, a report did surface after the incident here last week that a couple of years ago at Oregon practice, that Blount was involved in an incident and trying to separate it through a punch at Mike Bellotti, the coach of Oregon. Well, Mike was on Scott Van Pelt's radio show earlier this week and said that absolutely was not the case. So Blount has been defended by multiple coaches who have been around him. But he certainly knows that other guys understand there's this trigger, and they're going to try to provoke him. So that will be the test for LeGarrette going forward. Sims throws the sideline for Bobby Sewall. Incomplete. Guy from Brown, 3 times all Ivy League, Bobby Sewall.
Had a little separation there. Chris Sims just a tad long. Sewall had a shot. A Brown wide receiver. Chris Berman's loving that.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Sitting back, enjoying that. Steve Banks came on the other side of the line, and the movement happened from Tennessee.
Defense, unabated to the quarterback, number 57. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
And Boomer's coming back for the regular season. We have not had a chance to congratulate Chris on winning the Pete Rozelle Award at Pro Football Hall of Fame induction weekend, honoring Chris's great commitment to the NFL, and our coverage of the NFL has been at the forefront of it for a quarter-century now. And we add our congratulations to Boomer.
Well-deserved, a tremendous honor.
Ball start, number 72, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Everyone knows how much Boomer loves the NFL. Not many plays here, John. 3rd and 24.
And we got to Sims as he was about to throw that. Pressure again from Steve Banks. We've called the first-year man out of Bethune-Cookman a number of times, who was very productive in the Canadian Football League.
You know, a guy from Canada came into the Miami Dolphins. Wake. Cameron Wake had a heck of a splash for the Dolphins. You have to find pass rush ability. You can't discriminate against where you find it. Right. You got to have it, and they've been impressed with him throughout their camp.
See if Brett Kern can use that knuckleball punt where you drop it almost nose down. Got to learn that from Craig Hentrick, who was here for a long time. Tougher to catch. Also does a great job of staying inside the field of play for Downing. 25 yards in the kick, but they put him inside the 50.
This ESPN NFL preseason special is brought to you by IBM. Let's build a smarter planet. Visit IBM.com/smarterplanet. And Energizer. Keep going.
Keep the beat here in the Music City. 24-3 our score. And Max Hall remains at quarterback for the Cardinals. Hall's pass is complete to Max Komar. To continue the breaking news updates with Trey Wingo again.
All right, Mike, thanks. The Rangers have taken their no-hitter to the ninth. They've added a run. They lead 4-0. Their closer, Neftali Felice, is on to try and get the final 3 outs against the Twins. You can watch it on ESPN2. Oh, by the way, coming up third in this inning tonight for the Twins, Joe Mauer, who's led the league in hitting the last 2 years, trying to get the 6th no-hitter of the season. Let's go back to Tennessee.
All right, we're keeping an eye on that. Denard Span, the O-Dog, Hudson, and then Mauer for the Twins, trying to prevent the no-hitter. Short game for Larod. Stevens howling there. The #1 pick for the Titans this year was Derek Morgan, 16th overall, middle of the first round out of Georgia Tech. He has been bothered by a calf injury ever since the OTAs, but when he's healthy, John, what can they get?
Well, this is the most physical defensive end, I think, that came out of the first round. But he can rush the passer. He's also physical enough to stop the run. High effort, excellent motor. They just got to get this young man on the field. He's the biggest defensive end that the Titans have, and they're eager to get him started here.
Defensive Player of the Year in the ACC. Last year, Hall's pass is complete to Jim Dre. Made a good decision to get the first down at the 46-yard line.
But you know, the Titans have had so much turnover, and they lost one guy, I think, that really set the tone here in terms of effort. That was Vanden Bosch. They still tell stories about Vanden Bosch pushing that two-man sled 1,000 yards a day across the field. And they need a physical presence at defensive end. They've had one here for years. Jim Washburn, Jeff Fisher, they understand defense. They know what they need. And there he is right there, their young draft choice out of Georgia Tech. Hasn't done much since July 31st, but they think he's well on his way back.
Casper Stevens howling across midfield. Kyle Vanden Bosch went to Detroit, free agency deal, to hook up with the guy who was his defensive coordinator here, Jim Schwartz. And I watched Vanden Bosch play. The difference he's made on the Detroit front already with that effort and energy.
But you know, when you play in this division, you have to play a guy named Peyton Manning.
The sheriff.
And you got to see Schaub. You know, they're throwing the ball extremely well in Houston. You have got to rush the passer. And Morgan obviously is a guy that can do it from a couple different positions, as a defensive end or as a defensive tackle in the nickel.
And you've got to get pressure with your down 4, not compromise your coverage when you play against the Manning and a Schaub. You need defenders back in that secondary.
Ed Gant catches Hall's pass, takes it inside the 30.
I like what Max Hall's doing. He's showing me some body quickness back here. You have to play the quarterback position fast. You got to get it out of your hand. You have to be able to anticipate. But Max Hall right out of the play fake. Good 1-2 quick hitch rhythm. And he's on time and accurate. I like the speed in which Max Hall is playing. You can tell he's played a lot of football at Brigham Young.
Good quick twitch ball coming out. He knew right where the isolation route was, or that man-on-man coverage. Located it quickly, processed information to a strike. I agree with you, John. There's a little quick twitch to his game.
6'1", 205 pounds. All hands to Stevens howling. Takes it to the 22-yard line. We talked about Tennessee and building within their division because of the presence of Peyton Manning. Remember the physical teams Tennessee's had for many years. Our visits down to Jacksonville, they were always talking about, well, how do you build in this division? Do you build to stop Peyton Manning? Do you build a strength and power team to try to stop Jeff Fisher's group, which has always been good at running the ball and stopping the run? And sometimes you get so caught up in that, you run out of players. You can't build for both.
You can't build to stop Peyton Manning because he's unstoppable. Let's get a new game plan here.
You cannot build against him. He is the sheriff. Here's Hall.
Got to go up with that catch.
Gant did not hang on. Ed Gant out of North Alabama.
That's a great play by Max Hall. I mean, there's a nice wide nickel rush by the Tennessee Titans. Max Hall steps up in the pocket, keeps his eyes downfield, and throws a strike for a touchdown. Got to make the catch.
Yeah, John, you nailed it. You know, a lot of young quarterbacks, they get that initial pressure and the eyes go down. You can see the face mask of the helmet go down. They're looking for a lane to run. Max Hall did a nice job of keeping the eyes downfield, locating receiver and throwing a strike.
Third and 3 for Hall. Got a little space, throws across his body, and a touchdown for Max Omar. the rookie out of Idaho, who had the 36-yard touchdown catch on the game-winning drive last week.
Well, the way this Max Hall is playing, you see him scramble to his right. He never loses vision down the field. Excellent job once again. The more Max Hall plays, Jaws, the less chance they have of keeping him around here if they have any intent of putting him on the practice squad.
Yeah, and there's a guy they also love. That's John Skelton, you know, their rookie draft choice out of Fordham, who's also a big, strong-arm thrower.
Extra points added by Jay Feely. It's a good point because if people see him, you can't sneak him through waivers to get to the other side. So Arizona sees some good quarterback play. Larry Fitzgerald sees Max Hall throw a touchdown pass. An update what's happening in that no-hitter as well when you come back. A nice drive from Max Hall. Did a pretty good job leading the Cardinals down the field for their first touchdown. John Skelton, we mentioned earlier, the 5th-round pick out of Fordham, is the other quarterback. He made an impression last week in mop-up time.
You never know. You give a guy an opportunity. You know, he flashes. These games, the score is meaningless. It's about individual performance. Some guy's going to make a team on their performance in the next 7 minutes and 43 seconds.
Jay Feely, the ESPN First Take fan, kicks it to Mark Mariani. And he gets past Feely. And Mariani is getting a look in the second half as a return man. Brings it to Arizona territory, a 51-yard kick return. Guys trying to make the name, find a place. This is a rookie out of Montana who used to be a walk-on. He played with Jeff Fisher's son at Montana. Let's go to Lambeau on Thursday night. Wrap up our preseason. It's the 3rd preseason game, which for many teams is the dress rehearsal. So we were hopeful to see Peyton Manning and Aaron Rodgers for a good bit of the first half, if not more. Colts and Packers Thursday night here on ESPN. Be with you at 8 Eastern from Green Bay. Titans have had reasons to laugh and smile. 24-10. Rusty Smith has come in the game. The rookie 6th-round pick out of Florida Atlantic, now quarterbacking for Tennessee. Gives it to LeGarrette Blount. No room, the loss of a couple. One more baseball update. Back to Trey.
All right, Michael, this was the 10th time a no-hitter been taken into the 9th inning this year, and it's a 50-50 split. Who else but Joe Mauer, as we mentioned, with 1 out and 1 on in the 9th. Singles up the middle off Neftali Feliz. By the way, he's 2 for 2 lifetime against Feliz, but the Rangers lose the no-hitter, but get the game. They win it 4-0. Let's go back to Tennessee.
Jim Joyce was the home plate umpire in that game tonight. Of course, he missed the call on the would-be perfect game by Armando Galarraga in Detroit. Blunt with the carry to the 38-yard line.
You know, there's certain backs that you can just feel in the holes. You're in that 9-on-7 in training camp. You just feel the collisions in the hole. This guy's running downhill, and he's got some elusiveness for a big guy, but I feel his power in the hole, Jaws.
6 foot, nearly 250 pounds. Smith, who showed well in his action last week, completed to Mariani. First down at the 30-yard line. Took Florida Atlantic to bowls. First time for that school in 07 and 08. Sun Belt Player of the Year at that point. And he comes out of a pro-style offense, Ron, and you liked what you saw on tape.
I loved him on tape, and I loved him even more. And I saw him at practice the other day. I mean, he's got a jugs machine on his shoulder. I mean, he's got a big-time arm. Once he learns where to throw it, he'll be all right.
One to the right. Takes it to the 23-yard line. We started talking earlier, 10 plus 28. When you have Vince Young and Chris Johnson, what that does to your running game and what it does to other defenses.
Well, if you want to run the ball, come and study the Tennessee Titans. They can do a lot of different things. One thing that you won't see in the preseason is run the option. How about a dive option? You fake it to the fullback, the linebackers flow that way. Out comes Vince Young, and we're going to option off the strong safety. If he takes the quarterback, we'll pitch it to Chris Johnson. That is deadly.
That's a combination.
Once again, for nothing.
So you get on the sidelines, you make a couple adjustments, and here they come again with the same option. They fake the dive to Ahmad Hall, and the linebackers are all over the flow of the fullback. Here comes Vince Young. Now the strong safety says, I'm taking Chris Johnson. But Vince Young is big enough and athletic enough to hurt you himself. They don't do it all the time, but it's a compliment. Those two guys right there are double trouble for defenses.
And Vince Young out the backside really balances the defense and slows down the backside pursuit.
Rusty Smith, a 3rd and 3 throw. Complete to the tight end.
I think what it's all going to come down to, guys, is Chris Johnson's so good, you're going to get 8 in the box. And they are going to make Vince Young throw the football against single coverage. He's going to look off the free safety, and if he can throw the ball like this to this talented receiving core, the Tennessee Titans can be a real force on offense. If they can throw the football with this running game, look out, because I don't know how you stop that.
One trying to bounce to the outside. He stopped. No gain there.
You know, the one thing that running game does, and John, you pointed out that 8 in the box, and this is where Vince Young has to be sharp enough now at this point in his career. When they load the box, get to that line of scrimmage, kill the play, and get something to the outside. You've got this receiving core, one-on-one, that's the best matchup you can get. Vince Young needs to get better at the line of scrimmage. And quite honestly, Mike Heimerdinger has to give him the ability to make those trades at the line, the freedom to do it.
Trust.
All good words for a quarterback in the National Football League.
Well, the thing, you know, you start looking at the quarterbacks around the league, and nobody else can do that. You know, we talked about this with Michael Vick and his ability, and we remember that when he was successful in running the ball, he had great rushing yards, so the Falcons were the top rushing team, but there's nobody else in the league who can do what that combination of Johnson and Young
Here's
can do.
the risk. You start running your quarterback, your starting quarterback out on the edge of the defense, he's going to get beat up. Quarterbacks can't play with bruised ribs, bruised shoulders like maybe a running back could, so that's the risk you take by moving your quarterback on the perimeter.
Baylor, the tight end, catches again to the 15.
If you sit down and talk to Chris Johnson, he would tell you, I want the ball against the 8-man front because there's only 3 DBs left. And that's where Chris Johnson has made some of those 50-yard gains. Nobody, I think, in the history of football has had 5 50-yard-plus touchdown runs in a year than this guy. He loves running the ball against an 8-man front. If you get through there, there's nobody left. I don't know how you manage it.
Going for it here on 4th and 8. Dropped by Paul Williams, who's a 3rd-round pick in 07, has 1 career reception and has struggled here for the Titans tonight. 3:03 to go. Titans lead by 14. Titans 24, Cardinals 10. We'll see both of these teams on Monday Night Football this coming season. Arizona, what could be a pivotal division matchup. Max Hall's pass is incomplete. We say division matchup with the Cardinals. They are the reigning kings of this division. They've won the division in back-to-back years. Of course, Wisenhunt taking this team with Kurt Warner at quarterback to Super Bowl 43, the last second loss to Pittsburgh, the great Santonio Holmes catch. Then they come back last year, win the division, win a playoff game against Green Bay. You know, Baltimore's the only other team out there to win playoff games in back-to-back seasons over the last 2 years. So expectations are high, which is a drastic departure for Cardinals football. And not just Arizona Cardinals football, Cardinals football in general. One good spread in the mid-70s there, but other than that, in Arizona, it was mostly a disaster. So expectations high, and I think when you see Matt Leinart struggle in the first 2 preseason games, albeit the sample small, no Larry Fitzgerald for this game here tonight, no Early Doucette, their 3rd receiver. They're, for Cardinals fans, it's going to be a little bit of concern because they're expecting this team to contend for the division again.
Well, and I believe they will, but they've got to make some corrections. What are they going to be? Are they going to be a passing team? Are they going to be a running team? They've got to figure it out in the next couple weeks how they're going to approach the regular season. I kind of thought they'd become a running team. When you got Beanie Wells and Tim Hightower, that would be where you'd accentuate your offense with an inexperienced quarterback in Matt Leinart. Matt Leinart will be better if his running game is helping him become a play-action quarterback. Get those one-on-ones on the outside. But I think they're going to have to establish the run, get this offensive line coming off the ball.
Mike Jones made that catch. Flag down as Max Hall throws complete to Komar, who caught the touchdown earlier.
Well, as an ex-coach, when you change quarterbacks, you change a lot. You can't dispute that. And as you say, Ron, they have to find the direction.
Number 68 did not line up on the line of scrimmage. Offense, 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
You have to find the direction that you want to go. And they have a lot of new linemen. They're missing Larry Fitzgerald, who the whole offense runs through. This is a work in progress. They have a lot of new defenders on this team. The chemistry is just coming together. Hopefully this week in Nashville, these guys get away from Arizona. They continue to bond. But you can't give up on Matt Leinart after 9 plays in the second preseason game.
No one's giving up on him.
You just got to stay with them.
You want to see a little production. That's all. Not 9 plays.
You want to see production.
You want to see some production.
Paul's pass incomplete. Komar trying to make a second. I think the thing with Leinart, which kind of, and it was the plan, as Michelle alluded to from talking to Ken Wisner, it was his plan. He wanted to see Derek Anderson with the first team offense because there's a little discovery phase too. He doesn't know what he has in Derek Anderson, wants to find out a little bit more about his backup. But when you saw just 3 and outs really quick, it just felt like, well, let's get them something positive to kind of grow on, because that's what they're looking for out of Leinart.
Well, they made 9.5 yards in their first drive, and they chose the punt on 4th and less than 1. And then on 3rd and 1, they took a shot down the field, didn't connect. I agree with you. Maybe they have to sit down and do a little game plan. They need to have some success. I think we can all agree on that. They need some success, and there's the guy right there that needs it the most, just so he gets some momentum as they hit the regular season.
He is the quarterback. You know, I'm not even questioning that, but you want to see a guy coming out of this game feeling good about what they accomplished. I believe Ken Wisner should have kept them in the game longer. Come out of this game with a drive, you know, with some positive plays. You know, it was a game where, you know, he's got to start, Matt's got to start saying, hey, I'm in command of this offense. I'm the leader. They got to go to that regular season knowing this guy is the guy, and he's performed very well in the preseason.
They go up to Chicago Saturday. Mike Jones didn't bring that in, as Eric Bakhtiari again put the pressure on the quarterback Hall. Ken Wisner is back in Nashville. This is where his coaching career started, as an assistant coach at Vanderbilt. Special teams and tight ends coach, 1995 and 96. He was very happy to come back here. Which kind of made sense. They had already broken camp in Flagstaff a couple hours away. So by the time they went back to Flagstaff, Arizona, they almost had to turn around 2 days later and return to Chicago. It didn't make sense. We'll stay here and work. Against the Titans one day on Wednesday. And speaking of the Titans, we mentioned Indy and Houston and Jacksonville, obviously in their division. Let's look at the non-division schedule with last year records for these teams. This is in the order they play them, with Oakland, Pittsburgh, Denver, Philly, and Washington coming here, and those are the places they go. Not a lot of easy trips.
That's a formidable schedule right there.
I think the most important thing for the Titans is a quick start. They need to start fast. They have a young football team. They started slowly last year. That's all Jeff Fisher has talked about, is a quick start. And if they can get Vince Young and company some confidence and get on a roll, they can be a handful.
And to that point, John, they played 3 of their first 4 games here in Nashville, as Blunt takes a shot from Hamza Abdullah. And then we get to see them week 6 of the season in Jacksonville against the Jaguars. 2-minute warning in Tennessee. A reminder, Sports Center's coming up. John Anderson, Scott Van Pelt are standing by for the latest edition of Sports Center. Herm Edwards hanging out with the guys, talking about the quarterback situation here with the Cardinals, among the top stories the guys will have, and that near no-hitter in Texas. Rangers and Twins will be our Wednesday night game, and then Thursday night we're up at Lambeau to see the Colts and the Packers. Rusty Smith with the handoff here. You know, guys, technology is a wonderful thing. We've got iPads and phones and you name it. Well, we are constantly monitoring everything going on our crack staff. And we mentioned Kurt Warner was tweeting earlier about looking for somebody who can help him edit a video on his Mac. Another tweet from Kurt. Shout out to my guys, Jaws, Coach G, and Mike Tirico. Thanks for the love. You're welcome, Kurt. Sorry, but I'm done. Maybe I'll join you in the booth sometime. LOL.
Come on down. He did a heck of a job with the arena games.
Yes, he did. Kurt Warner tweeting in the booth here. Glad you're watching, Kurt. Hopefully somebody figured out a way to get the editing thing going for you. Is certainly tough shoes to fill. Such a presence, too. And, John, when you said when you change quarterbacks, you got to do a lot of discovery, it's the presence in the room, and Kurt had such a huge presence on the entire franchise.
Oh, he's a Hall of Fame player. He's a world champion quarterback. You don't replace that in 1 year with a young quarterback that really hasn't proven himself. They're totally different. I mean, I watch Matt Leinart. I see a left-handed guy that's 6'5". You know, Kurt Warner wasn't the tall, rangy guy. Their style is totally different, and it's going to take some time for Arizona to get in a groove offensively.
Of course, the people here in Tennessee know it was Warner with the Rams in that Super Bowl 34, and Mike Jones made the tackle. I talked to somebody from Tennessee who put it best. I keep watching, hoping that Kevin Dyson gets the extra yard. You know, that was also the year of the Music City Miracle, first year in this stadium. Like what I saw to Vince Young, like what I saw to the Titans tonight, guys.
I did too. No question. They're making progress.
Matt Leinart and Vince Young find each other one more time. Matt said he did want to beat Vince. He just got a chance to beat him. He got him in that 2005 Rose Bowl, 2006 Rose Bowl, 2005 National Championship game, the regular season game, and now preseason game here. John Anderson, Scott Van Pelt coming up with Sports Center. Here Tom Brady has to say about the Jets and Hard Knocks and the concerns over Steven Strasburg and everything that happened in sports. The recap of this game. Sports Center around the corner. We'll see you Thursday from Lambeau. Peyton Manning and the Colts and Aaron Rodgers in the pack. With John Gruden, Ron Jaworski, Michelle Tafoya, and our great Monday night crew, Mike Tirico. So long from Music City, USA. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Sports Center, seconds away.